Let's try it again. We'll try it again. 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 Come on, Glitch Talk. Try it again. Try it again. Let's go try it again, Glitch Talk. Okay. Let's try it again, Glitch Talk. Try it again. Try it again. Better late than never, Glitch Talk. Let's go. Let's go, Glitch Talk. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get back. Everybody back up. Let's see if it'll work this time.
Hey, Rose.
There we go. We got somebody in the box now. It's actually working.
Where's Minx? We were having fun.
I know. Everybody was kind of stuck in the dang glitch. Oh, look at that. I hate when it does that. There we go. Yeah, we had Minx in the box and somebody else was chatting. I know.
A
I
little
love
break
this. I
had me
love
because
this.
my puppy got up. She said, I want to go out and I want to come get breakfast. So it gave me a couple of minutes to take care of morning routines.
David is here.
Do I know David?
I don't know. I think we were talking earlier, but I
I
can't.
just I just followed you. I had to follow you to for you to accept me. I'm just a normal person looking to talk and make some chat. Go on, people.
Okay. Oh, come on, Minx. Are
Did
you
you
still
when you
around?
say
Let's go. We were in
David?
another chat and I was waiting for Minx to come back, but she might have went to bed.
No,
We
she
were
said
just
she's
chit-chatting about what were we talking about? Well, we were talking
we're
about
talking Congressman destroying
um
America because they want to make profit.
yeah, oh there she is. Yeah, we were just talking about regular people and good politicians, bad politicians, and how we need to quit freaking making people sore about. I mean, like, quit demonizing people specifically unless you're going to shine their action. Like for example,
And I have.
I want to
Wall
talk
is
about
telling
if you
me.
want to talk about Biden, I want the specific thing. Like, I don't want to hear Biden is the scourge of America. I want to hear I'm upset about Biden because whatever it is. All
Exactly.
right.
I
I
tell
You want a
people this.
specific? I'll give you one. The biggest one in American history. He penned a bill to incarcerate enormous amounts of black individuals because he said they were trouble. If you put them in jail, there won't be a problem no more. That was horrible.
was he president then?
He signed the bill,
Hold
promoted
on.
the bill, and he
Hold
got
on. Now
the
hold on, Walt.
Democrats to
Now I'm going to
sign it.
ask you this, Walt. Now I'm going to ask you this, fair tit for tat. If
Okay.
you want, if you want me, if you want me to allow you to bug out on Biden about shit he didn't do when he was president, then I get to out about shit that Trump did when he wasn't president.
You can do what you feel you want to do, and I'm not going to kick back on that. What I'm saying is what Biden wrote a bill on incarcerating young black men, destroying their
But
families.
nobody said the 94 crime bill was an awesome, great thing. It was a bad thing. And even Biden said it
You
was a
admit
bad
that.
thing.
So if you can admit Biden wrote a bill, it was
He
horrible
didn't write
for
the bill.
America
How are you going to say he wrote it? You
because
watched him
he
write
wrote
it?
every other Democrat said,
Hey, Walt.
They
Hey,
give him
Walt, let me
credit.
ask you a question about that. How many
Go ahead.
Republicans? How many Republicans signed that bill?
There probably was some for
You know that was
Clinton
a
to be able to
bipartisan.
sign it.
Walt, you know that was a bipartisan bill, right?
That's right. Unfortunately, yeah. There's a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
it
people who
sucked. It
thought,
was a bad bill. I agree. It was a shit bill, and Biden shouldn't have signed it, and he apologized for doing so. My point is though that it was a bipartisan bill.
Rose, now it all makes sense because Walt has them little ankle biters.
Hey, I have
yeah,
ankle
my
biters.
puppy
What are you trying to
decided
say?
after breakfast she had to go out really quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you heard that. I
Hey,
give you a
Nothing,
Walt.
I
problem
bet.
of all kinds.
Well, let me ask you something about Trump. How
Go ahead.
racist do you have to be? How racist do you have to be to get called racist by the Nixon administration?
I do know as a fact, no matter what Trump did, he was going to be labeled. He was going to be called every name in the book because Democrats are so scared. He was going to drain the
I'm not.
swamp they
Hey,
didn't
whoa,
want.
whoa, 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 Walt. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about Democrats calling him racist. I'm talking about Richard freaking Nixon and his administration calling Trump out for being racist for his unfair housing acts.
Is Biden not racist?
I didn't say he wasn't.
One at a time, guys.
Just saying.
We're gonna have Walt go, and then the next.
Thank you, Rose. I don't think Nixon was alive when Trump did some of his nonsense. I am
But
saddened by
oh
all
no,
Trump's nonsense.
No,
but when
no.
Trump did get in trouble from the state of New York for his unfair racist housing practices,
And what year
the,
was that?
By the Nixon administration.
And what year was that?
That was in the 70s, Walt.
1974 to be exact. Yeah. But there was a lot of people who were obnoxious during that time, and to learn the lesson, Trump grew from that.
Did he though?
Well,
Did
you
he
can say
grow, or did he grow into the president
Obama
that
did
said
not
that
like.
did he grow, or did he grow into the president that said Hispanic people were rapists and murderers?
No, he said the illegals coming over the border attacking us were.
No, so he
He,
generalized people that were trying to find a better place by
he
calling them
did
rapists and
generalize, which we
murderers.
know is wrong.
But you said he grew.
He grew from his old opinions, yes. Just like Obama grew, just like Biden grew, just like Clinton grew. They all grew
Really?
into different opinions.
Really? Is that why he had a group of boys that were shown and proven to be innocent of a crime? Is that why he insisted they be tried for murder and convicted for murder and then unalived for murder?
Well, thank goodness for our legal system that said you're innocent until proven guilty. The boys
Yeah,
were
no,
proven
great.
innocent.
Thank thank goodness for justice, real actual justice. Thank goodness
Exactly.
Trump was not the one on that jury panel, or not the judge in that case. Thank goodness for that, because we all know how that would have turned out if Trump was.
We have a system that works quite well. I know some of you don't like America, but obviously we're a pretty good country.
well,
Yes,
why is it that when we try to call Trump out, we don't like America, but when you call Biden out, it's okay?
I'm not saying that at all. You call
That's
Trump
what you
out for
just said.
everything.
You just said that whenever we call Biden out, we don't like America.
No, I didn't say that.
You just said that we don't must not like America, and the only thing we're talking about right now is Trump.
Rose, I am very familiar with you. I know whatever I say is wrong, you don't like, and you think any conservative in the world is obnoxious and what you call those you and Hillary refer to as It'll come to me in a minute.
Deplorable.
Deplorable. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Yes,
Well,
I
you
am
call me a
depraved.
nasty woman.
I've never said that. Those words have
That
never.
is the opposite, right? We call you
Have,
deplorable, you call us nasty women.
I have never ever said that.
Conservatives do. In fact, didn't I tell you before how I get called a murderer all the time because of my pro-choice stance?
So, Rose, you're going to tell me because somebody else in the world gave you an insult, you're going to pin it on me? How's that fair?
Well, that's what you're doing to me.
No, I'm not. Never have.
You're telling me that because I call other conservatives out for their hateful behavior that I'm pinning that on you.
I'm not pinning anything on you. You were pinning on me what some other moron had to say. I don't see how that's equal.
It's equal. If you're saying that I am saying that you're evil because you're a conservative, then you're basically, it's a tit for tat, Walt. We have
I
these
didn't know.
conversations every day.
I didn't know that you thought I was evil. I
I
thought you
don't.
said I was a pain
I
in the
don't.
ass. I never thought I
But
was
you're
evil.
sitting here acting like I do. You just sat here and said that, oh, I know what you think, Rose, that I'm deplorable and everything else.
Because that is what you're saying. I'm deplorable. And I don't mind it because from the left's point of view, I am deplorable. I want smaller government. I want people in control. I want a sane, normal country.
What did I
I got
tell you before about small government, Walt?
explain to me about small government, how wonderful it is. Go ahead, tell me.
What did I tell you about how in the hell are we going to have a small government with 330 million people?
The same way you told me that defunding police was a good idea.
I didn't say that, and you fucking know I didn't.
So
I'm
now
saying
you
it.
can put words in my mouth and I can't put anything in yours.
You know
Makes you
dang
good
on well
headed.
I've never said to defund the
Well, that
police.
was literally the most disingenuous argument I have ever heard in quite a while.
Really?
No, yeah, you literally said, "Well, if I want, I'll just put words in your mouth, and then I'll sound right." And blah blah blah. You really do sound incredibly disingenuous right now.
Was it Rose talking about tit for tat? She goes tit
I
for
mean,
tat. I can't.
is that where you want to turn this into a tit for tat argument, or do you want to have a real conversation?
I wanted to have a real conversation because normally we have fun with that
Okay, then knock it
conversation.
off with the tit for
She,
tat, and knock it off with the disingenuousness, and knock it off with the I'm gonna put words in your mouth.
okay, I have just knocked it off, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir.
So, Puck, are you going to bring up the next topic?
Oh, I didn't know I
Yeah,
was running this live. I just came up here
no,
to correct you about a few things.
I would offer David, you wanted to say something next? Oh, damn.
Apparently
Oh,
not.
I guess David didn't really want to talk.
Scared him off.
What are y'all talking about?
Oh, we're just politely voicing our presidential complaints.
April, we're talking about more nonsense. Bring it. Come on.
Walt got his pep pills this morning,
Oh, he did.
I guess.
No, I have not yet.
Oh, let's see. We'll invite a couple other folks up, unless anybody wants to volunteer. I usually invite friends up because I know that at least they put up with me, but if we're not mutuals, you can always hop in the box anyway. Walt knows me. I kind of I act a little bit like a Mary Poppins. I try to look at things on the bright side, but
If
sometimes,
that's what Mary Poppins looks like, I am scared.
and let me put
The,
it this way,
the,
I try to look at the good in people. Let's put it that way.
the good in people is what we both want to see. That's why we get along. Leaning so far left that you're touching on the socialist stuff scares me. I'm sorry.
Walt, you have no idea what left is. I am almost centrist compared to some of my left friends.
Now I'm really scared.
I think that some of my friends would tell you that I am pretty much not as left as many of my friends are.
If you're centrist, you and I got to get along quite well. If you want what's good for America, if you want to be center of the road, similar to me, we're going to be great buds.
Well, Walt, let me ask you this. If you want what's great for America, why do you keep voting Republican?
Because I want smaller government, plain and simple.
But
Why does your government keep taking away people's rights?
That part is really disgusting, and I hate it.
look at what DeSantis is doing, banning books and everything. Look at what he's doing.
Well,
It
well,
That's
he's
seems
that's a,
that your particular politician seems to really like getting into other people's, I don't know, family affairs, bedrooms, bookshelves.
Pronouns.
It's kind of disgusting.
In fact, I just read somewhere one of the states just put something up for a vote to actually make it a crime to correct pronouns.
yeah. Well, the new thing, DeSantis is wanting to take out all the what is it? It's called something, but it's dealing with Black history. To take out AR Black history out of the books, take them out of the schools. Look
would
that
it
up. That's
surprise you to know when I was a little kid, I was in an elementary school in Massachusetts. It was extremely democratic. The Kennedys ran the whole place. And Rose heard this story. I was in second grade and I was hearing all this stuff about this wonderful guy who murdered a whole bunch of people in World War II, who insisted the whole world had to be blue eyes, blonde hair, muscular, wonderful people. So like a dummy, I asked my teacher, "Well, what's this guy look like? How is he so handsome?" She sent me to the office to talk to the principal. How could I possibly want to know what Hitler looked like? How bad was I? Well, I apologize. I said, I didn't know. And I understand he's a nasty person. 6 million people murdered, millions more in a war, and it was disgusting. It was horrible. So why am I being punished? Well, because you want to know what he looks like. It was many years later. I saw a picture of the dude. He does not have blonde hair. He does not have blue eyes. He's not handsome at all. He's a ridiculous piece of shit. But the Democrats said you can't look at the picture of the guy because he's so wonderful. So I'm accustomed to be labeled a nasty person because I have questions.
Sir, it sounds like you had a bad school experience, and your
yeah.
anecdotal experience at school when you were a little boy does not represent an entire political party. That is a ridiculous statement.
I'm sorry for being ridiculous. I'm just pointing out a fact what actually happened, sir.
You pointed out an anecdotal experience that you had as a little boy at school. And again, I'm sorry that that happened to you. Schools at that time and still today are just shit. I apologize for that. On behalf of bad public school systems everywhere, I apologize that that happened to you. That still does not mean that particular school when you were a little boy, and that bad experience represents an entire political party in today's society.
I could, in fact, expand on that because that political party, specifically Democrats in Massachusetts, which is why I left that state a long time ago, they just compounded that. They just kept it going. We put up a sign at the border when we left Massachusetts. The last person leaving, please turn off the lights. Yes, it was a joke and it was fun. Yeah, there were a lot of people pissed off. Massachusetts was a very difficult place back then.
How long have you lived in North Carolina?
Since 1991.
So check this out. I just saw this article just came over 5 hours ago. Former President Trump and his legal team have been ordered to pay sanctions totaling more than $937,000 for their attempt to sue his former presidential rival, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good morning, guys.
It was
What did I
frivolous.
miss?
They're suing the lawyers and all because the judge said it was frivolous. They had nothing to stand on and to waste the court's time bringing this bullshit up. That's basically what
Yeah,
it says.
Trump has been ordered to pay fine fees for bringing up a frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Clinton.
Well, I've got the transcripts of his testimony in the Carroll case,
How
Jean
true.
Carroll. I've got the testimony, everything he said. He is such a dumbass. Good God Almighty, the words he was spouting. Jesus.
Is that right there? I'm going to tell you what. Hillary Clinton is sitting somewhere having a sundae ice cream and enjoying an article reading this morning.
Good morning,
She
ladies and
deserves
gentlemen.
every
How
bit.
y'all
Morning,
doing this
Jonathan.
morning?
Good
I'm
morning,
good. How are
Jonathan.
you?
I'm doing great. I was sitting here enjoying your conversation. Actually, I woke up with this on my mind this morning. You guys were talking about. I'm a Democrat, and I think Democrats we do terrible on messaging sometimes. And
Yes.
I'm
We
like
do.
I'm like the host. Most of us Democrats, we don't want a lot of socialist policies. That's why Bernie Sanders' campaign didn't take off. We don't go too far to the left. We understand that we can't give people a lot of free stuff, and we don't want to turn into a Cuba or something like that. But we terrible at messaging. We have a lot of things in common with the Republican Party, but the Republicans have gone so far right until we just cannot support them. I mean, as you guys were just talking about the AP African American studies that DeSantis is not allowing the schools to teach. We teach about every other culture in our high schools. Why not African American studies? Now, how do you think you can have a big tent and bring more African American or black people into the Republican tent when you got Republicans don't want studies about African Americans taught in school?
I had a wonderful conversation with several Black friends last night, and they told me how much they love our country and how proud they are of how far we've come in so many years, and that a lot of the division they believe is from the media. But I have also said that there are a lot of things in the past that we need to speak truth on.
Yes.
And a lot of things that we need to come out and speak and make sure that if somebody wants to say something, if somebody needs to come clean on something, or if a family or somebody wants to speak on something that happened to them, their experience, their evidence, whatever it is, we should give them a forum to do so with protection and
Right.
honor, and give them that give them that reverence they deserve for what they've gone through. And at some point I would like to give reparations in the form of real estate or some other way to make up for the fact that people have lost their heritage. But we the visceral arguing between us and hatred, we can't continue to do this. I love my fellow Americans, but our leaders are falling so far short. They are not doing their job. They are
Well,
not
That's
supposed
yeah,
to
so
be.
true.
they use it as a wedge issue. They want to keep us separated. I don't want. I mean, reparations is fine, and people say black people just need to move on. I would love to move on, but you have to acknowledge it happened first. You have to acknowledge the truth first. Once we acknowledge the truth and we make recompense with everybody, and like you said, maybe some land or some type of housing or something, just like you do for the Native Americans. They have reservations and stuff like that. Then we can move on. But we can't move on until you acknowledge that this took place. Not only with African Americans. Look at what happened, and I'm just learning about really what happened in Puerto Rico, what happened in Hawaii, and
Yeah, me too.
yeah, and when these people are talking about woke culture, what they're talking about is they don't want people to learn about the true history. They want us asleep. They want us clueless,
And
and
that's
that's
why
Right.
absurd.
That's
We
why
need to be
DeSantis is
completely
trying to
out in
get
the
rid of
open.
the AP. That's why DeSantis did that. He wants people to stay ignorant.
That's right. 50 years of defunding our education system, taking civics out of our schools, that shit was on purpose. Our
It
kids
was.
don't know what our leaders are supposed to do anymore. We have an entire generation or two that don't even know what branches of government are supposed to do, what the state level, what the federal level does, what our court systems are supposed to do, or even understanding that our Constitution has fallen short because we have not kept up with it as a living document. That our Constitution is supposed to stand strong. Thomas Jefferson told us to keep up with it. We were supposed to make sure that that document lived up to us and we lived up to its standards. There is
Yeah.
no reason why that document should still say 3/5 compromise on there.
Mhm. Yep.
No reason.
I was
There's
listening
no.
to a. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I,
no, please continue.
I was listening to a presidential candidate the other day, and this lady just happened to be a black lady that want to run for president, and she was talking about giving everybody stuff free, giving free houses and free, and she scared the crap out of me, you know. And I asked her a question. I said, "Well, let me ask you something. How are you going to make all of this stuff happen?" And she said, "By executive order." And I'm looking like, are you crazy? You know, Joe
Yeah,
Biden could even
that's
give student loan forgiveness by executive order. And on top of that, I would not want that type of America where everybody gets stuff free, and then there's no incentive to work if you're giving everybody everything free. We need to be, Democrats need to be also talking about people going to work and making good financial decisions and pulling yourself up when you can. But we helping those people who can't pull themselves up by the bootstrap.
Well, and see, I'm actually going to run in 24. And one of the things that I talk about is we have to make sure that we have livable wages. Not
Yeah,
only that, though, we have to make sure that our small businesses can afford to pay livable wages. We
Right.
can't expect these small businesses to be able to pay livable wages whenever we don't sit there and figure out how the math works. You can't tell
True.
somebody to pay somebody $15 an hour when they can't afford to barely pay them $10 an hour.
Right.
Well, we got to,
Exactly.
if the
Well,
government
you're
allowed
talking common
our
sense.
economics to screw up, if our government allowed us to get into this freaking hamster wheel shimmy-bob, well, then our government can come in and fix that shit.
Yeah, if we giving corporations all this money and tax breaks, we can at least say, okay, if you're going to receive this tax break, if you're going to get this money from the government, which is also welfare, we give it to corporations. We're
Well,
gonna say,
that's
well,
what
you
I
got
said
you got
too.
to you got to set
People,
your pay at
people
a
keep
certain pay
saying
rate.
they keep saying if we raise the minimum wage, then corporations are going to raise how much everything costs. So I said, well, shit, they already do that. What
They
the
do it
hell would
I
that
have
already.
an answer
mean
for
any
that.
damn way? Well, I mean, they already charge us out the ass. A damn bottle of ketchup don't cost any more than it costed 3 or 4 years ago to make, but they sure in the hell charge you a hell of a lot more to frickin' buy it. So, I mean, if we're already going to pay the damn more for it, we might as well go for the whole damn broke anyway. And
You
and
know,
if we're going
Let's
to
Elizabeth
do
face
that,
Warren
the
had a
fact.
really interesting plan on how to not only deal with uh, this problem that you're talking about, as well as the what was it you were calling it, reparations to BIPOC people. She suggested essentially just taxing the shit out of billionaires, and it wasn't the shit out of it either. It was like taking 3 cents to every dollar that they made after $1 billion, something to that effect. Now, these people are going to continue to make billions and billions of dollars. So you take that, put it into a pot, and that eventually equates to being, something like $6 million, and then you can start allocating those funds to certain things. And as far as what Jonathan was saying, as far as like social programs, I don't think anybody was trying to get away with social programs. I think we need social programs in order to deal with society. I mean, if you think about just like everything everything that we deal with as far as public services, that's all social. Our roads, our bridges, that's all social. Police,
the
that is
problem
social.
is
Firemen,
that
that is
we have
social.
the programs. The programs
Yes,
are not being monitored. They're not being supervised. There's too much waste. There's nobody that gives a shit. And then when the
I think
program's not being monitored or it's not working right, nobody goes in there and fixes it because nobody gives a shit.
I think
Just
that might
really
be
talking
true in
common
some
sense
places. I think
again.
in
And
other
so, I'm not
places
saying, yeah, right. I'm
it
not
it,
saying all
it does do
places,
very
but
well. But it really all depends again on who we as a society are putting into office to represent those positions.
right. And I'm not saying that we have to force people to like spend half their day following things and watching over people. It only takes a little bit, right? It doesn't take it doesn't take a whole lot of supervision. All it does is take a little bit. I try to tell people all the time, you don't have to be the helicopter as long as people know that every once in a while you're going to look. Every once in a while you're going to check. They don't have to know when. They don't have to know how. Isn't that what we do as parents? I mean, we always look in on them, check them, make sure, especially when they're too quiet. Don't we do that as
Rose,
parents? The kids are quiet. Go see what the kids
if
are
I could
doing.
say, if you
I
don't
just
mind, Rose,
What?
Jonathan and I are going to become very good friends.
Well,
And
I hope you make more friends on here, Walt.
the
The thing
common sense
is, is that is that we need to stop demonizing each other because of who we vote for or who we feel meet our our political ideology.
the dare
Because
you
whether
do
or
that,
not
I will
I'm
be
a
happy.
progressive or whether or not I'm a conservative, I'm still an American, and I still want to put food on the table every night for my family. And I still want to have a job, and I still want to have medical and decent medical. I still want to be able to have the same basics no matter what my ideology is. So whether or not we're going to come to terms with that, we still have to come to terms with those basics.
And
So
you
why
and
so
I
why are
can
we
agree.
fighting on the basics?
We're not. We're not. You and I agree, and Jonathan agrees. Minx agrees.
But we
I
don't.
know April
Because
does.
when I'm not in the box or I'm in the comments or I'm listening to other lives, I hear a whole lot of bashing. Not just on one side, I hear it on all sides. But I hear it not towards a
That's a fact.
person, towards the action of the people. Democrats are ruining the country. Republicans are all Schnazis. Okay?
Well,
This is,
yeah,
I hear, what?
we got to start listening to each other. Our problem is we don't listen to each other. You know, I couldn't understand for the life of me why somebody from Cuba would come over to the United States and vote Republican. Until I got a Cuban friend, one of my best friends, and he started to tell me how Cuba is, how their government is. See, a lot of people don't even understand how Cuban government is. And so when you understand how the government is in Cuba, you know why Cubans vote Republican. Because they
I know why
scared to
Cubans vote
death.
Republican. Nobody has to ask me why. I know why.
Yeah. But
I
most
know
people
why.
don't. And
I
so,
know why conservatives vote conservative. I've been
what I'm,
talking to voters for a
Because
decade. I
we
know why
don't
they do.
want our
Things that
country
baffle me,
destroyed.
things that baffle me are things that are opposite each other. Why are you conservative and then you vote for Trump? That
right,
baffles
exactly.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, like
Uh,
I'm saying, the Republicans used to be the party of integrity. The Republican used to be the party of Christian values.
The
But
thing is, though,
everything they do is in opposite to it right now.
it's not just Republicans. That we have fallen short all the way across America,
Yes.
all the way. We have fallen short on our politics, on our religion, on our schools,
Uh-huh.
on our communities. We have fallen short all the way across, and we do not look in the mirror and face our own shit. We keep pointing the finger at everybody else.
I would also say that if you're going into the voting booth in a sense of fear and panic, that's not exactly the best way to go about it. You kind of want
That's
to go in there
fact.
cool headed with a sense of logic, don't you? So why not continue thinking about politics throughout your entire process in a logical fashion rather than making it fear based and I don't know, based on a fairy tale that cannot be proven.
This is the fight or flight thing I keep saying. Americans never get a rest anymore. None of us do. No matter what your life entails, no matter what your daily struggle is, nobody gets a break. It's either fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. You're either fighting to get somewhere, fighting to accomplish something, fighting to go, 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 or you're running to go somewhere, running to go somewhere, running to go somewhere. Run, 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 run. You're trying to get the kids going to school. You're trying to get to work. You're trying to get this done. You're trying to get that done. And no sooner you got one thing done in your head, you got to go get something else done. And it's constant, 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 constant. And so then we're wondering why most Americans don't have time for politics, don't have time to think about what their leaders are doing, other than they say, this is my ideology, this is what I believe in, so I'm just going to cast my ballot for this is what they say they stand for and go on my way. Because people are exhausted, their brains are constantly going, I don't have time to think about what this Looney Tune over here is saying. I'm just going to go ahead and cast my ballot and go. But because we're constantly doing this, they know that. They have us going like this deliberately. It's like a deliberate thing where they turn the hamster wheel on Megatron, and we're all just running a super constant hamster wheel, and they know that we're not going to critically think when it comes to voting. And they know that they can use fear and hatred and anger and sadness and all kinds of emotions that are not going to make us critically think. And then
That
we're
was
going
the
to
whole
vote by
point.
our emotions.
The whole
Right.
point of representative government is we hire the representatives to go in and
And
say,
that's
this is
okay.
what we
That
want.
was okay when people were listening, when people had time to go to the town hall and listen, when they had time to actually have critical thinking skills and listen to what the representative said and really understand the politics. But you take 50 years of defunding education in schools. We haven't had civics in our schools for over 20 years. Okay. Plus, you have all the rat race running around, you know, constantly, like I was just talking about. Then you have everything with the economy, and you got COVID, and then you got leaders that aren't really public servants anymore. It used to be a public servant was somebody that cared about the public more than themselves. It was somebody that cared more about you than themselves. Now they're worried about what they're going to put in their back pocket at the end of the day more than they are about what they're going to do for you. That is a major
That is the
problem.
point I've been making, Rose.
And
They
so
want to cancel light bulbs so they make profit. They're not worried about you and me and our lifestyle. They're
But
looking for
but
profit.
that is what we have to concentrate on. What happens when me and you get to that point and we agree, then we start arguing over the different theories of what's going on and what's happening. And we break up because we're constantly doing this. We're trying to figure out what's going on, and we're breaking off into theories of this and this theory and that theory and this theory. And we're dividing up instead of just concentrating on this,
We
because
don't
all the
have
other
to
theories
divide.
don't mean anything. It doesn't matter about Hunter's laptop. It doesn't matter.
Nobody is
It
talking
doesn't,
about Hunter's
it,
laptop.
not right now. They will tomorrow. Okay?
Who cares about the laptops?
Listen, just
Who
So
cares?
listen.
well, can I please say something?
Go
So
You
ahead.
can.
right now, we are at 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 78%. That
That's
means if
pathetic.
my car breaks down, I'm just shit out of luck. Then there goes my job. There goes everything else.
That makes me
Anything
sad.
minor happens, you're screwed.
Right.
68% of America. There's a problem with that.
It is.
There is a problem.
And I'm scared to death with what's coming up right now. Who's in Congress? I mean, I am terrified of these 20 of these Christian nationalists of
Mm-hmm.
it scares the shit out of me. They're
Yes.
dictating taking books out of school. What does this sound like?
How does that affect your paycheck?
How does
Look at your paycheck
The
and
daughters
say
of the Confederacy have been the ones behind taking all these books out of schools.
taking a
Yeah.
book out of school is ridiculous, but look at your paycheck.
what do you mean
Follow
paycheck?
follow the daughters of the follow the daughters of the Confederacy and all the way up to today, and you will find the demonology behind getting rid of the books.
Jonathan, you want to
Yes.
pipe up and help me out here?
Well, I think what he said. I mean, what she is saying is that we some people are caught into a between a rock and a hard place. We want people to come off public assistance and get jobs and pull themselves up by the bootstrap, but the system is set up in a way that if they go out there and get a job paying $7, $8 an hour, they're going to be kicked off the assistance, but they can't live on $7 an hour.
That's true.
If we had
Exactly.
if we had a minimum wage, or a wage where people can make it, then people can come off of government assistance. And so some people are forced to stay on it because they can't make it without it. They
What
can't make it.
level,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Remington, what level should we make the minimum wage? I vote for $100.
A living
I,
wage, a living wage. Somebody said a living wage. Just give people a living wage where they
I
can
want
make enough money.
I want you to understand something, Walt. We're looking at human nature. Human nature is about to collapse our country. And I want you to understand it, and I want to make it very clear. It doesn't matter if you believe in human nature. It doesn't matter if you believe in the natural progression of science.
I
You
do.
want to know why our southern border is so chaotic and such a mess? Because America is greedy and selfish, and we don't want to help anybody else. Even though
The
we
border,
pretend we wait, even though we pretend we go over here and help and we go over here and help, the fact is that if we were in Haiti, actually helping those people that really need help. If we were in South America, actually doing what we could do to help. If we were actually in Mexico, doing actually what we could and help the way we really could, the way our military actually could help. The kind of power that we have, the kind of ability that we could actually do, we wouldn't have all them people begging for help and coming to us on with such suffering and need. They are coming here out of desperation. Nobody comes to a border for that kind of help and need for nothing. They're coming
so
here
you're
because they
saying
have to.
the
They
best
have to.
country in the world, they want to get into our country because they know how awesome we are. You say we're bad
It's not
people?
want.
It's
Nobody
a have
wants to
to.
leave their home country.
It's a have to, Walt.
It is a have to.
And then
And
Republicans,
until we stop being selfish
yeah.
and greedy, it's never going to stop.
And then Republicans get on the megaphone, which is go on the news station, and announce to the rest of the world that the southern border is wide open and people are not being apprehended. They are coming in illegal. What you think those people are gonna do when they hear that? Oh,
Yeah.
let's go. But they're not telling the truth about all of these people are being apprehended and sent back a lot of times.
And
But they
why
just
and why
said,
do they come here? Why do they come here? We are the shining city on a hill.
yeah,
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
We are the hope of the world. We always have been. Give us your tired, your weak, your poor, your wretched refuse, yearning to breathe free.
We
Well, that
are
has
outstanding.
always been us. And to deny that is to deny who we are and who our heritage is and how we are looked at around the world. That is why they come here. And that is our legacy that we should not deny. The fact that we turn people away and that we have a selfish attitude that we don't want people here in the first place is the actual reason we deserve for people to come here and storm our borders. We deserve not to have anything because we are so greedy and so simple minded that we would rather hog everything we have here and not let anybody in than to share and love mankind and give them a little bit of what we have.
And people are just saying thinking it's the southern border. More come over by air than anything. People's
mhm.
only worried about the southern border because of the color of their skin. They're not, tracking down all these Europeans that's coming over here illegally.
You know why we get mad when you send them to our cities? Because when they come here and they seek asylum, they get paperwork. They actually have documentation and they actually have a court hearing. And they actually all but 5% show up for their court hearing. And when Hot Wheels gets his little panties in a bunch and lies to a bunch of people that don't even understand or speak English and puts them on a plane or a bus and sends them 2,000 miles away, they will not be able to get to their hearing. They won't know where they're at. They won't have any ability to focus and figure out how to get back to where they're at. And then we
I'm
just
sorry.
lied to them and told them that their asylum journey that we told them they would be able to go on and at least have a hearing to, we just botched all that up.
Who is Hot Wheels? I don't know who that is.
Greg
Sorry.
Abbott.
Greg Abbott.
Governor
Texas.
Greg Abbott of Texas.
So when Abbott doesn't do it, Biden ships them, he puts them on planes, he flies them around. That's okay?
But they are
No, it's not
processed.
okay.
They are processed. They are processed correctly, and they are already gotten in touch with these people where they're going, and they're there to receive them. What Greg Abbott is doing is he is processing these people, but he's telling them, giving them a court date and stuff, and sending them out other states. How they going to get back to those court dates, which make them illegal after if they don't show up?
So, in other words, we are actually giving them a court date, and then we're actually sending them where they need to go temporarily or for shelter. And instead of that, Greg Abbott allowing that process to continue, he offers them and lies to them and says, "Here, I'm going to give you a place to stay and a job and everything." And he sends them to Martha's Vineyard or wherever and just leaves them. And instead of them being where they're at, where they can get shelter and there's volunteers to help them, now they're just abandoned somewhere and just left.
Where's he going to get the resources to feed them, to house them? How's he going to do that?
That's federal
Well,
government.
Yeah,
the
well,
The
the
federal
when we
problem
government
do
can't
is
that,
do it.
you're just
that,
looking at the people that's crossing the border now. The problem with undocumented and the people we have here illegally now is people that's run out their visa and are still staying here. That's the problem right there. Not the people that's coming across now. There's
and
like
see, here's the thing.
586,000 a year that's overstaying their their visa, and then like 200 and something thousand that's crossing.
And
So
and
April,
here's one of the things you guys got to understand. Why do you think nobody ever talks about the ones that come in on planes or come in on jets and then overstay their visas? Why do you
because
think we don't?
they're
Why do you
supporting
think they never
themselves.
talk about them?
If you support yourself, we're not going to mess with you.
They
but
don't
still
talk
that
about
isn't
them.
the
They
statistics,
don't
Walt.
talk about them because it's harder to find them. It's harder to find it's harder to find immigrants that are here illegally who have come in by plane or come in from another way and overstayed their visa because you'd have to go out there and track them down. It's an easy talking point.
But
It's
if
easy
they
food for fodder. It's an easy talking point. It's easy food for fodder, and it's easy bait to go after people on the southern border.
if they
So
are in fact
they're
supporting
down there.
themselves,
They're down there
that's the
innocent.
biggest
They
part.
have no money. They have no ways and means to defend themselves, and they're down there poverty stricken, begging for assistance. So they are sitting ducks for people to just attack.
And they play
There's your
right into the
issue.
Republicans. That's the whole platform of the Republican Party, to keep people in fear of taking your damn guns, fear of people invading your country, taking all your jobs, fear of this,
April,
fear of that.
did you just hear what you said?
What?
There's not a Republican ever anywhere who said, I'm taking your guns. That's all Democrats.
No, the
All
fear
the fear
of.
stuff is
No,
Democrats.
well, it's the fear to keep you in fear
I'm a
that
I'm
they're
a
going to
I'm a
fix your
Democrat.
problem.
I got pew pews, and I'm gonna keep them. I
I
love
got.
mine.
I'm a Democrat, and I got them too.
Yep, me too. It's the fear that they feed into to keep you into that party, that they're fighting against all this. It's just
So
fear.
why did Biden come out and say, I'm taking them away from you?
When did he ever say we're taking our guns
2
away?
days ago. 2 days.
Oh Lord, Walt, please, you've got my inbox. Please send me that.
If I
Please.
knew
Yeah,
how
I
to do
want to
that, I would
see
do
where
it.
he said that.
I would suggest you look at Bloomberg News. And there's a whole bunch of news agencies had him quoted. And if
So
we
what?
object, he
So
said
what
he'll
he
bring
said he was gonna send the military to go around and pick up everybody's weapons. Is that what he said?
and he also said if we don't cooperate, if we want to go after him, he's going to bring an F-15s. He's going to bring a fighter jets to fight Americans. Not very presidential, I don't think.
No, Walt, I don't believe that was ever said. I mean,
It
that
was
would
in the
just be.
news. It's very public. It's not my opinion. It's what he said.
What news what news was that?
He said
Blo-
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg, NBC, CBS, the whole
And you,
group. They aired it. And did you hear his speech on MLK Day? He basically said us Republicans are so bad. He wants to put us away.
Are you talking about when he said that those who argue they need assault weapons to fight the government need much bigger arsenal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they
So
do. We got drones that can wipe you out in a heartbeat.
That ain't no lie.
That ain't no lie.
and,
Nope.
but
and what and what the Republicans don't understand is that yeah, you are citizens, but when you commit an insurrection and when you do something against the government, you no longer consider a citizen. You are a domestic terrorist. And so yes, the military can take action against you
Here,
because you know.
here's
Yeah,
the quote. Here's the quote that he said. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty as water of the blood of patriots, he said. If you need to work if you need to work about taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15.
exactly.
that
Yeah.
sounds like a threat to me.
Really?
No, it's
You
it's a
guys,
fact.
Wow.
you
The fact
guys
of the
been
matter
threatening the
is you.
government.
The fact of the matter is that Walt comes from an era that actually grew up thinking that, at any time if he had to overthrow a tyrannical government, that he should be armed and ready to do so. But the fact of the matter is, Walt, we live in a very sophisticated era, and there is no way in hell that you and your little pixie stick are going to go out there and go up against the government. You could get 100 guys together, 1,000 guys. You could get 10,000 guys together and try to do so. But you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to push a button and you're going to get wiped out. It's plain and simple.
So
Okay?
you're saying you're going to wipe out
And
150 million
a little bit more
Americans?
context, Walt.
If
That quote
150 million Americans tried to go up against what they consider to be a tyrannical government without just cause, on some
Walt,
kind
we
of,
got.
I don't know, January 6th rampage, then
Walt,
January
yes.
I want to
second to
go back
third.
into
Then
this.
yes,
I
it's a
want to go into this
possibility that the
quote a little
government
bit
might push
more.
a button and wipe you all out.
I
It's
want
a
to go into this
possibility,
quote a
Walt.
little bit more, Walt, so you know. The quote that Biden was referring to dates back to Thomas Jefferson, who wrote in a letter, quote, "The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants."
Hmm.
So, evidently, President Biden is not so slow in the mind after all. He's actually thinking of things like this when he's talking about his right-wing friends. Now, why would the President of the United States be thinking of Thomas Jefferson quotes when talking about his right-wing friends?
He will patronize anything and anybody because he wants to make a point. We are bad people. He said he was going to be the president of bringing us together. He's done
Really?
everything
Oh,
he
good
said to
Lord.
Hold
divide us.
on, hold on, hold on, hold
Oh,
on. Now,
oh.
I have really tried not to go into a demonization here. But if we are going to continue to speak on trying to say that Biden wants nothing more than to divide us,
He always
I'm
does
about to
that.
go into a rhetoric of hate from Trump over 4 years of hate that he gave to Democrats that you will not like.
I hate everybody other
Rose,
My
I
mic
want
is on.
sorry,
I
Rose.
have a question
If you
for
could tell
Walt.
me how
Because
many
I
times
had to hear that
Trump.
orange ape talk about how much he hated Democrats for 4 damn years.
Yeah, Trump's an orange ape. Yeah.
We heard all the insults about Trump, and that's fine.
more of like a
What
hip.
specifically did he say to
I hit a
attack
chord with
America
him.
like Biden did?
You're shitting me.
So Walt,
Enlighten me, please.
I actually had a question kind of based off of what we were talking about in the previous live. Do you believe in climate change?
The climate has been changing for 4.5 billion years.
Wait, so you believe in climate change but don't believe in global warming?
The climate will constantly change, always has, always will. If you are so overwhelmed about what you're doing, well, stop. If you think driving your car is bad, well, quit. If you think warming your home is bad, quit. If you think cooling your home is, quit. If you think eating food is bad, quit. If you quit your stuff, the cold gets better. Good luck to you.
Wait, I'm not talking about climate change in my house. I'm talking about climate change overall with the world and how climate change and global warming are the exact same thing, just different words.
If you were a little bit older, you would remember in the 1960s, the same scientists said, because you people burn trash in your backyard, we're going into an ice age. We've done it before. We're doing it again. We're going to be in an ice age because of you people. As soon as we paid waste management to pick up our trash instead of burning it in our backyards, they said, well, no, there's no more global cooling. Now it's global warming. It all
So,
comes down to
Walt, on that, do you not believe science changes on daily? Do you not think there's scientific studies being done on a daily thing
Wait, he doesn't
that it's
believe
always
that
going to change?
he doesn't believe that we are affecting the earth as people, that we are a problem on the earth and that we are killing our earth. He does not believe that.
I want you to run out on your front lawn right now, run in a circle with a match, and see how much you can warm up the planet.
Well,
Go ahead,
that's
I'll wait.
ridiculous. That's just horrible logic right there.
Well, that's the logic you're using. That driving
No,
your
it's
car around
not.
in circles is going to kill the Earth. 4.5 billion years. You think you can actually interfere with it?
Well, not to change the subject, but I do have a question. Was January the 6th an insurrection?
January 6th is a talking point that you are going to use forever.
No, I'm just
I'm
asking
sorry.
your opinion.
Those people were not armed. They did not come to attack the government. They're just pissed
So,
off.
February 5th, 2018, Trump goes after Democrats and calls them un-American and treasonous. There's the first article.
Well, my fiance said some of them were armed.
No, ma'am, they were not. My niece, who was killed,
Tell him.
Ashley Babbitt, was not armed. There was no reason to kill her.
All right, Walt. You
They was
brought her up.
a lot of them was
So I'm going
armed.
to ask you a question, Walt.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to ask you a question. Was Ashley a veteran?
Yes, she was.
So she would know the words stand down, would she
Yes,
not?
she did. She did.
So when she was told straight to her face as an order to stand down
She
4
did.
times,
She did.
and ignored that order
She never
as
ignored an order.
the
Ever.
gun was pointed at her chest
No, it
on
was not.
camera, and
Well,
she
yeah.
refused to stop. Would you not agree when a soldier is told to stand down and they refuse to stand down, they are fully aware of what those consequences will be?
Rose, I
Well,
understand you trying to make a point. The fact of the matter is, she did
I
not, an
asked, is
unarmed
that
well,
a
now I'm gonna
yes
person,
make a point.
or
deserve to
no
get
I thought, I
killed.
thought, I thought
answer?
your side was the side of law and order.
Yeah.
We
I
are
thought
on the side of
you
law and order.
upheld
I
law and
just
order. I thought
asked
you
for a
upheld the
yes
police.
or
Why
no
are you
answer.
why are you trashing the police? Why are you trashing the guards that had to guard the Capitol that day?
Out of respect for the United States military and all service members, I will
What?
only ask again.
Ask.
Would she or would she not know the consequences of not following a stand down order?
She did not acknowledge the fact there was that threat. She was only voicing an opinion, Rose.
An
Should you be
opinion
shot? Should be shot in the
followed
chest
by
right now for
violence going through a door. I saw the video.
She broke into the area. She's trying to climb through, Walt.
she
At the
went into
time, I
the
actually
public.
saw the testimony of the officer that was forced to end her life because she refused to comply with a stand down order given 4 times.
And one thing, you guys always say when black people get killed by police officers, why they didn't just comply?
That's
Why
exactly
didn't
it.
they comply?
Jonathan, that was
So,
great.
in
That's
honor of
right.
every military service member who must follow every order when they serve,
So you think the Earth is going to kill us? That's my fiance's
I
opinion.
would say and challenge. She, as an honorable service member, knew very well the consequences of not taking a stand down order. And I give her respect for her service, but I'm sorry, Walt. She knew the consequences.
An unarmed individual. Okay, Rose.
She broke into a federal building in the middle of a violent riot, infiltrating a door with an officer on the other side, facing a gun pointed at her at point blank range, with him telling her 4 times to stand down. Those are facts. You can go ahead and take whatever conclusion you like, as she is a family member. I
Rose,
understand.
if you and I go to the people's house tomorrow and walk in there unarmed, should we be shot?
If
If
we break
those
in,
doors are locked, Walt, and I
yeah,
break in there,
Hey,
yeah.
you
Rose,
bet
really
your
quick.
ass I would
Rose, I don't
expect
mean to interrupt you,
to be
but Tim is
stopped.
in the chat right now asking for you to mod him.
To what me?
And
It's
it's
not for
sad,
you.
Ashley Babbitt had to die as a traitor. All the sacrifices she made
Don't
to
you
this
dare.
country, she
Jonathan, I
had.
said we're going to be friends. Don't you dare call me one of my family members a traitor.
I mean, it just is what it is. When you go against the government, you becomes a traitor, right?
I am trying to be very respectful, Walt, because I know she was related to you.
And
But
we sad that, but we sad
I
about that too. We
cannot,
really sad about that. But
I
that was
cannot deny what I saw on that footage. And I am sad that it happened that way. And her family did testify that they said that they lost her. Is she from
Because
that
of
ideology?
one person.
Yep.
Trump should be charged with crimes to humanity.
And no, she
Because
was not the only one, but that day she was the one that lost her life on that side. And I'm sorry that happened. And I do believe that her life was lost because of the other people that planned that day.
yeah,
They weren't
There was
stand.
no plan.
she believed it. She believed it. She really believed
She
it.
believed that she was right. She died for a cause she believed in that was a lie, Walt. You should be salty about that.
Trump
So
guided these people
why don't you
thinking
come
that
over
they
here and
could
shoot me?
stop the election.
I believe in a less government too, so come shoot me. It'll be okay. I don't mind.
That's not why she was shot, Walt.
It's
That's
all right to believe in less government, but we have ways of replacing government. The voting booth. If you can't win in the voting booth, you need to change your platform. You need to change your message. That's where we make changes at, in the voting booth.
I agree with you there. However, we can't get over the absentee vote coming from the cemetery.
There
Rose,
is no
attack it.
absentee vote coming from a cemetery, Walt. That's a lie.
So
Rose,
you
I'm
can
attack
tell
sorry.
lies and
it,
I
honey.
I'm
can't?
sorry that people convinced you of that. I'm sorry that people lied to you, but that is not true. That's not true, Walt.
Okay.
Well,
My
do you
fiance
just have
even
like
said that
a?
that's not
Do you
even
just have
enough
a?
to sway the election.
Yeah, it really isn't. Do you just have a jar sitting next to you with like little cue cards that you pick up and say conservative talking points? Like you wait for your turn to talk and you don't actually listen to what anybody is saying. You just pick up that next
If
card
you have
and
an
you pick it
insult,
up
just
and you read
offer
off the next
the
talking point.
insult. You don't have to beat around the bush. Just come right straight out and say the insult.
Hey
So I'm
Walt,
going to
did you
explain
Walt
What?
did
something
you
as
did
You're
you
somebody
did
that
you
works
regurgitating
in
talking points.
politics. I'm going to explain something.
Rose, just a minute before you start explaining, please. I'm going to drop down, and attacking wants to come in because he has all everything about the sixth
I'm gonna drop too.
down.
I enjoyed you guys. I'm gonna follow you guys. Yep, you guys follow me too, okay?
All right,
Yeah,
honey.
okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry you're going away. I wanted to chat with you for a little bit. Come back
Just
a little
follow
bit.
him, Walt. You'll be able to talk
Okay.
to him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna follow you. Just follow me. I'll follow you guys back.
Okay.
So,
Let
all
me.
right, guys. Thank you, April. Appreciate you.
I was enjoying their company. I'm
Thanks,
sad they
thanks,
had to
Well,
leave.
thank you, Rose. Hi, Walt. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing good. Hey, can I ask you a couple of questions?
You sure can.
Okay. Can a baseball bat be used as a weapon?
It absolutely can.
Okay. Can a hockey stick be used as a weapon?
Yes, it can.
Can crutches be used as a weapon?
Yes, it can.
Can a 2x4 be used as a weapon?
Yes, it can.
Can a pipe be used as a weapon?
Yes.
Can a flagpole be used as a weapon?
Yes.
Okay. You said there was no weapons at January 6th, but that's what these people had in their hands.
I suspected that was the
Tony,
setup
get
you're going
guests
for.
in here one
Hold
at a
on.
time,
Hold
guys,
on.
as soon as
Allow
they're
me.
in.
Allow me.
So
What was
I
that,
know,
Walt?
guys.
What was that, Walt? What was that, Walt? I didn't hear you.
He said that he
Good.
suspected that was going to be the question that you were leading up to.
Okay,
It's all right.
so now, Walt, you do know that firearms were confiscated at January 6th, do you not?
No, I never heard that.
Well, they were, and they were pictures of them, and they were, and also there was radio talk from DC cops that people had AR-15s latched over
Really?
their shoulders. Yes. Also, Walt, hold on for a second. Were you in the service, sir?
What is the setup now? What are you going to get to him?
Hold on.
If you want to call me a bad guy, just go ahead, do it.
I'll get to it.
Hold on a second. Hold on, attacking. I want everybody to understand something. Me and Walt are mutuals, okay?
Okay.
We are not here attacking Walt. All right.
I'm not attacking Walt. I'm
No, but
attacking his
the
thinking.
chat is in here saying leave Walt alone.
No, we're not attacking Walt.
We're not attacking Walt. We're
Right.
talking to Walt. See, Lexi's in here. Leave Walt alone. Walt is not being attacked. Walt,
No.
do you feel like you're being attacked, Walt?
I feel setups coming.
Well,
Yeah,
Do you
give
want
him
me?
a
Do you
couple
want us to
questions.
leave you alone, Walt?
I enjoy conversation. You know that, Rose.
okay.
I have
Well,
no
I
problem
mean,
with
what do you want
conversation.
me to do, Walt? Do you? I mean, because you don't have to be here if you don't want to have the conversation.
I
I don't want.
understand, and I know I can go.
Well,
I'm
Walt,
All
sorry.
right. All right. All right.
Walt, I apologize if you
My
think I'm.
mic is on.
Hold on, please. I apologize if you feel that I'm attacking you, but I'm not attacking you. I want to address your thought process. That's what I'm trying to understand. So I asked you if you were in the military. Were you?
Why are you setting this up?
Okay, because
Why don't you
okay,
talk
I'll get
about
to it. I'll get to it.
talk about what you want to talk about?
Do you know what a barricade is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so a barricade is to separate good guys from bad guys, let's say, correct?
That's kind of vague.
Well,
go ahead.
attackers.
With your story.
Okay. A barricade is to separate attackers from people that they want to attack the innocent. So, like with January 6th and Ashley Babbitt, she was trying to breach a barricade, correct? Correct?
No more than.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Attacking. Let's just let the Ashley thing go. I don't want to.
All
I
right.
don't want to press Walt anymore on that. We
All right.
already went through that. It's
Okay.
it's
All right.
Thank
family
you.
for him, and I don't want to disrespect Walt. It is family for him. So I made my point.
All right.
We had a few words about it, and that's it. Anything else we can talk about.
I'll let it
Rose.
lie.
Can
It's just the thing is he's not allowing other weapons other than pews in his
I
thought
know, but
process.
as far as Ashley, we're gonna let it go.
Okay, we'll let that go.
Okay.
can I?
If it was completely over, maybe I could gauge some more. But my nephew Aaron
Yeah,
still feels the pain of it.
I understand.
I know. I
Ashley's
said it's
mother.
family. I'm going to respect your boundaries. I think that if it was personal for me, I would want someone to respect my boundaries.
Walt. I don't know her, but I feel sorry for her that she was lied to by Trump to lose her life. And it's a shame that a veteran of our services in America was lied to, and she believed somebody like Trump, and she believed in him so much that she was willing to do what she did. And I respect her as a veteran, but she was lied to by Trump for the action that occurred to her. And we do feel sorry for her. We feel sad for the family. We really do.
And at the same time, we have to respect her because she felt so strongly that she actually went against that order.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I believe very much she knew what that order meant, and she took the risk and went anyway.
Yeah, I respect you. I respect you, Walt. I do respect you, but
thank you, sir.
I really do. So the thing is this.
Anybody that is too impatient or doesn't like my live, you can scroll on. We're not on anybody else's timeline.
Yeah, we're not hating anybody, guys. We're
And
just
this
trying
is
to help
not.
other people
I
fix
don't debate.
things.
Anybody that's new to my room will know that I don't debate. We don't come in here with a tit for tat, seeing if we can hurt people.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the live, Walt said that he's cool with me and everything, so I just wanted to let everybody know I'm not trying to attack Walt. I'm just having a conversation, and I wanted to continue the one I had in the last live.
I have many conservative friends, and when they're up here, everybody respects them, and we have it out the way we have it out, and whatever. But
And by the way, Walt, I'm 64 years old, so I fall within your category also as an old person. So I respect you.
Oh, good. So you served in the
Then see,
Vietnam
Walt,
era.
you have friends in
No,
the chat.
I went.
You have
No,
friends in the chat that are supporting you too. Somebody said that they have a son in the military, and
my dad fought in World War II. My brother signed up for the Army. I went to El Toro Marine Base and I tested, and I passed with a 98 score. But I ended up getting hooked up with a good-looking blonde stripper, and I ruined my life for 3 years.
Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Well, I wish I did serve. I didn't serve.
Allie Pants, how are you doing? Is that how I say your name?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you this evening?
All right. I didn't want to ignore you. It gets pretty wild in
No,
here. So.
yeah, it's okay. I'm fine with waiting my turn. That's no problem at all.
Yeah, I'll be quiet then.
It's okay. No, I just kind of wanted to ask some questions as well, and just kind of have some discourse around some of the trains of thought, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've identified that some of the points that you have made tend to be Republican talking points, right? And some of the points that we have made tend to be liberal talking points. Fair enough. Well, maybe not, right? And I think that's the tack that I'm going for, is let's kind of think about some of the things that we're talking about from a different perspective.
Good.
And so initially when I came into the live, we were talking about, you were talking about how Joe Biden said he was going to come and take all of our weapons. And despite the fact that that's really not what he said, I think that it's important to understand some concepts around the armed populace argument, right? A very popular Republican talking point is to say that the reason that we have our arms is to prevent a tyrannical government, right? From taking over or from dominating us, or whatever the case, maybe however you want to word that.
Are you looking for a response?
In a minute, yeah, just a second.
Okay.
The point that I would like to make with that is that not only do I believe that Joe Biden's point is, while sarcastically made, I think it's very accurate. I think that for the American people to go against the American government just isn't practical. It's just not practical. The only practicality that I see in us owning as many firearms as we do is to fight each other. I think that's the only effective means that we have for having all these weapons. And that, I would contend, is almost more dangerous than trying to fight the government or trying to overthrow the government. And so I would like to hear your idea about that.
You want my idea about what could possibly be done about a tyrannical government? Well, girl, sit down.
Not so much about what could be done about a tyrannical government, but more about the concept that it's not so much that people are trying to take our guns as it is that this almighty power of the right to bear arms is not as powerful as we might think it is.
Well, first, thank you for the full floor to address this. There was a time, a long time ago, in fact, it was 1776, the United States rose up against the most powerful militia and country in the world. We kicked their butt, sent them home. Do you think we could do it again? Number one, we're not going to cooperate. If we don't cooperate, you're talking about over 100 million people not paying taxes to the federal government. You're talking about 80 million people who want to bear arms against the government. You're talking about a military who are going to look at their parents and their grandparents and be ordered to murder them. I don't think you're going to win, girl. I'm sorry, but your argument is lame. call me an old idiot. You can do that, and you might be right, but no, I'm
No,
not.
I don't think that at all. I think I would contend that that really just supports my point, right? I think it supports my point that these guns are not to go against the government. These guns are to fight each other.
Go to school.
Would it surprise you to know I've owned weapons for almost 60 years? Not one of them has ever pointed at another
Well, she's
human
not
being.
taking the bus. I take her. She doesn't get up yet.
I think that's great, and I've owned weapons the vast majority of my life as well, and same story, but I don't think that um, really plays into the argument we're talking about, because the talking point is that this is how we keep our government in check, and I really don't believe that that's true. I don't believe that this firepower will, for starters, keep the government in check, but then also I don't believe that it's the right tactic. I think you named better tactics than us having a handful of firearms to go up against the arsenal that the most powerful arsenal that we built, that we paid for, that we bought for our country.
So you just told me you own weapons.
Yes, sir, and I like to hunt also. Mm-hmm.
So as a hunter, as a weapon owner, you respect the firearm.
Absolutely.
With that respect, it's your firearm. Do I have the right to march in your home and take it away from you?
I don't think anybody's trying to. I have yet to see anyone try that.
Well, they're
See,
not
that's
yet.
what we're saying, Walt. This is one of the things we're talking about. The Republicans have been doing this little fancy dance with the threats and trying to scare people into thinking people are coming to take their guns for 30 years.
And Walt, I think you have a different way of looking at the Constitution and what they meant by well-rounded militia and a tyrannical government. So in the 13 colonies, when they put that in the Constitution, we were still had the threat of England still coming after us, the British government still coming, and our states were not protected. We did not have a huge army like we have today, and we didn't have the National Guard, which is the state's militia military. That's what it is. It wasn't against our government being tyrannical. It was against
our founding fathers happened to be genius. They knew human nature. They knew we were going to screw up. So the reason they put that in there, the First and Second Amendment, is because if you see something wrong, say something. Second Amendment.
So Walt, we just had the Revolutionary Army.
If we really want to get the guns banned, if we want to really get all the guns banned, all we got to do is get 500 black gentlemen to come up and carry AR-15s and walk in front of the White House.
Ooh,
They'll ban guns quicker than shit.
I heard that.
Mm-hmm. Will never happen.
You're kidding me, right? That's how the Brady bill got passed.
I am absolutely serious. If you think 500 people could disarm 350 million,
I'm telling you.
Well, you don't have the 350 million.
You don't. I'm telling you that a couple hundred black gentlemen with AR-15s walking in front of the White House will scare the living tarnation out of Washington, and they will run up into that building and pass some gun legislation.
I just want to make sure I heard Walt correctly. He said that 500 people, if 500 people went to the White House with guns, that 300 million they would not be able to disarm 300 million. But the 300 million would not be at the White House at that very minute, Walt.
So you're saying you're going to leave the White House, attack my White House, and then you come into my home?
No.
I'm
No,
sorry to
well, I
say.
think that's the opposite of what we're saying. Is we're
I'm
not saying
asking you to
they wouldn't have to
clarify.
attack at all. Yeah, they wouldn't have to attack at all is the point. The point is that racism in this country is such that
My
even
statement was
Republicans would
kind of
go
made.
against.
It was a
Yeah.
statement made that if we really, really wanted to get people to get the
No,
government to make laws about guns, to scare them, all we would have to do is intimidate them by putting guns in the hands of
Rose,
black people and putting them in front of the. That's
I
what
Really?
I
get your
meant.
statement, but Walt's statement back to that is, so you're telling me 500 people are going to disarm 300 million. So I'm saying, what by Walt's logic, 300 million people are in the White House at that minute? No, they're not. So no, Walt, you're invalid with that statement. Back to Rose.
So your logic is because we are not all after White House, we can't push back. What I'm
Well, are
saying,
you going to
after you
are
get
you
the
going to
White
be
House,
at that
if you
White
push,
House
you
that
can.
minute that happens?
Well, your vote is the pushback.
If you come after me after you've attacked the White House, which I don't think you can do, come after
They
me. Go
wouldn't
ahead.
even have to. They wouldn't even have to go after you if they go to the White House. Is what Rose is trying to say.
What makes
That's
you
what you're
think?
missing. Nobody would be going after you. They would go to the White House. But by what you're saying, your statement back to her made it sound like there are all 350 million are in that White House, which they are not. There is no way 350 million people are
the
fitting in that White House.
the joke, Walt, was meant to say that all those men in front of the White House with AR-15s would scare all of the lawmakers so much that they would go in and pass a law and make gun purchases illegal. That was the
The
joke.
day you can make guns illegal in the United States of America is the last day the United States of America exists, and you all know it.
Oh, I disagree because
Someday,
we've
Walt, maybe you
banned
might want to
assault
sit down
weapons
and ask
before in the
somebody why the
90s.
Second Amendment was even created in the first place.
Yeah, and
The fact of the matter is,
we've already done that. We've already
Congress,
banned assault weapons before, and the country has thrived.
Yeah.
So, it's not you can't really say that to ban weapons is the last day of the country. I mean, we proved that's not true.
And just because a few crazies out here are interpreting the Second Amendment to fit their narrative, to fit their agenda.
Right. And if somebody did ban assault weapons, everybody that already had them would get to keep them just as they did before. It would be a grandfather thing.
And to think that these small groups coming up and acting like Billy Badass is going to do anything. Why do we not have the greatest military of the whole world?
absolutely we do.
Do we not have the most sophisticated, technologically advanced military in the whole world?
Absolutely.
So you
Thank you
think
for the
a few
compliment.
case nut jobs coming up there with their pew-pews are going to do anything to somebody sitting behind a desk pushing a button, letting that drone just wipe them out one right after another? Do you think they have a chance?
Some idiot in the comments said, why is Pelosi still alive? And my smart ass comment would be, because you fucking Republicans can't do anything right.
Oh,
I
Kim,
don't.
take
I
that
don't like
dude out.
those comments.
Kim, take
Well,
that
April,
out.
I can
what
be
I'm
just
saying
as
to you,
saucy, just like it says when
I'm
you come
not
into
going to
the
lock
room.
my
I give
front
you the
door.
energy that you bring.
April, come in my front door. Come in my front door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Say hello to me. Point a weapon. Point your finger at me. You'll be fine. Point a weapon at me. See what happens.
Well, I
Since we
think this
got
is part of the
78
That
people
logic
in
problem.
here,
just
Like
isn't.
this is part of the problem, Walt, is that the Republican side of things has basically indoctrinated their followers to believe that everything has to be an attack and that we're trying to attack you, which is so much to the contrary. We have no wish to do so. I don't want to go in your house. I don't care what's in your house.
Oh, good.
I'm not interested in any of that, and I don't think any of us are. I think what we're interested in is the public spaces, right, and keeping them safe. And I
Yes,
think,
public is important. Protect.
yeah, yeah, and I think also, it bears mention that a lot of this rhetoric stems from the shift in the NRA back in the 80s when it became a more political organization than a sporting organization. And because of those donations, it has now been turned into this hot topic item as a means of fundraising, right? It's a way to fundraise for money instead of being realistic about the approach to keeping public spaces safe. And that's
Ali,
a real detriment.
Ali, in all fairness, I would speak for yourself. I personally do want to impose more socialistic programs to pay for all these babies that you people want to force out of people. And I also do want to impose better education for our children. But the type of education that I want to impose, you might not actually agree with.
Who
I think,
believes
yeah, I
babies
don't
should
have a
be?
problem with expanding programs. I think that's a different issue. I think what I'm talking
I
about is like trying to come into someone's house
I
and
want to I
confiscate
want to
something.
share
I have
some
no interest in that.
information while we're all here. There's
No,
75
no,
people in the room, and I think this is worth sharing. Republicans are about to shut the country down.
Yes,
We
we
need to
are.
be aware. Okay. If we don't if we don't pass a debt ceiling increase within a couple weeks, everything's going to go. That means grandma's not going to get her Social Security check.
Not
Our
true.
military is not going to get paid. Don't
Not
call
true.
me a liar, Walt. You know
I
that
just
will
stated
piss
the
me
fact.
off.
Well, we
The
just
SSI,
discussed this in the other live that it is true, and you even agreed that it's true in the other live.
SSI is separate from
It is
income.
not separate.
If the
It is
government
separate.
Everything is
falls,
government funded, Walt.
It's
If the
all its
government
own
doesn't go, the
Ponzi
government
scheme.
doesn't work, nothing works.
I'm just gonna mute myself.
Man, y'all just sit here and call me wrong. I'm saying it to warn you. You can sit here and cry in a river all you want.
What
Doesn't
happened the
anybody
last
remember
time?
doesn't anybody remember the government parks closing when Obama was in office?
Yes, we do. And Social Security still went out. All the normal obnoxious payments went
We did
out.
not go without everything running long enough for Social Security to stop because
There were,
it would have stopped.
Wait,
it did
well,
not
you
stop.
said normal obnoxious payments, but you also agreed that my grandmother should be able to be on Social Security disability, and my mom.
Yes,
So why
Sean, you remember.
is it
Already paid.
obnoxious now?
Everything stopped. Social Security
No,
office
it didn't.
wasn't
Rose,
open. The welfare
check,
office wasn't open.
check your
Nothing
facts.
was open.
Check your facts.
I am telling you what, Walt, if you act like I'm a liar one more time, I'm kicking you out of the box.
Kick me if you want, but the fact of the matter is Social Security is still paid. When the government shuts down, Social Security is separate
Who is
issues
going to give
paid.
you the check if the government shuts down, Walt?
The
Who?
program is in the computer.
The
computer
program is run by the government.
No one's there to operate the computers because they're not getting paid for their jobs to do that.
This happened during Obama years. And guess what happened to Social Security? It was still paid.
We only shut the government down for a couple weeks.
So what are you saying? A couple weeks Social Security can be paid? If it goes longer, it won't be?
It
I'm
only gets
telling
paid
you
out
right
once a
now
month.
that by February 1st, we might not have it February 1st. And if it goes long enough, we definitely won't have it by March 1st.
Wait, Rose, I got a question for Walt. How many times do you think Social Security gets paid out every month?
No, Social Security gets paid out a lot of times because for every person, they look at their Social Security number and they pay out weekly.
But the only thing that will still run if we don't if we don't fund the government and raise the debt ceiling, the only thing that will still run is national security. That's it.
Security,
That's it.
SSI.
So, no, you will not. SSI won't run. Social Security won't run. Welfare won't run. Food stamps won't run. Nothing is going to run.
It's only May. It's not a lie.
You need to look at your facts. The fact of the matter is SSI will still be paid.
if I worked, and I don't know if you're on.
Fucker.
She kicked him.
I told him I'm done with that lie. I have a pet peeve about that shit. I was married to a son of a bitch that called me a liar every day of my life. I am not a liar. I'm a very honest person. Motherfucker can kiss my ass.
Rose, I love you. You're awesome. It's been awesome to meet you. Yeah, I would take a slightly different stance on that also, just in just a different viewpoint. You guys are 100% right. If we do not increase the debt ceiling, we will not make good on these bills. We're already under extraordinary measures, which means that they're starting to cut back payments to the USPS and some other expenditures that we can.
The only thing I'm not sure whether it will still run or not is we might still get the mail because the post office is independent, so we might still get that. But everything else
is independent, but Congress determines a lot of how the spending and allocation works in the post office, and so
so I'm not sure about that.
The treasurer is manipulating. I saw a thing about it today. I can do a deep dive on that and get some.
People don't understand, and it's even more than everything shutting down, because it's more because if we default on all our bills, our credit rating drops.
Let me say something about what I hope you didn't block him, Rose. You just dropped him, right? You know, he's a friend. So let me say this. He tried to explain. We went through the same situation when President Obama was in office for 2 weeks. Let me say this. So first of all, the President Obama terms the whole situation of the country and the economy as the national debt number is different from now. The situation, the economic situation,
I can't remember what year it was.
Is different.
I can't remember what year it was though. But they did that to Obama. The House refused. Was it 2011? Yeah. They refused to raise the debt ceiling on him then. And the thing is that the debt ceiling is nothing other than paying your freaking bills. That's all that is. It's nothing more than paying your bills.
These old school people, they don't want to listen. They don't want to pay attention. There is millions of them who believes that the goddamn computer will still do the job because it has instructions and the algorithms. They can run themselves without.
The thing is, the computer will work, but if the Treasury doesn't kick over, if everything doesn't work as is supposed to in the Treasury,
hear me. Rose, hear me. So this is how the budget work. This is how the federal all obligations work. Without the approval of the goddamn Congress, not a penny will be out of the saves of the Treasury. Take it from me. You can shovel it. You can fact check it. You can do whatever you want. So not a single penny will go out of the safe without the approval of Congress.
They did say something about that we had a shutdown under Trump, and I think that's right. But I don't think it was because of the debt ceiling. I think it was because they didn't pass the budget.
No, the Trump situation. It's because of the goddamn shameful wall in the southern border. Because he was a crying baby with a temper tantrum. That has nothing to do with the national debt. Yeah. That has nothing to do with the national debt. No, he was the one who forced
as soon as he started to look bad over it. As soon as he started to look bad over it, he went ahead and told them to go ahead and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. crying baby.
But yeah,
Rose, I think you hit on a really good point, is that it's more than just our credit rating, right? Our credit rating is one of the things that stabilizes the American dollar. The American dollar right now is very fragile. It's very
It is very fragile. Yeah.
And
and
so
I
if we are
think
not careful,
I
we're
was
going to tank it.
and I was having a discussion with somebody about this earlier today. See, China and India and maybe Russia, they're planning on going to a gold standard on their own. Now, see, I would by myself, I would normally say, go do your own shit and leave me the hell alone. America's strong enough to do everything on its own. But if we have a shutdown and our dollar weakens,
We
if
will
our
give them
credit
the
rating goes
opportunity
low
to
enough,
take over our universal lead. You know what I mean? China, India, they will take the lead instead of us.
see, the thing is that even if they go to a different standard, even with us being 32 trillion in debt, we are still the top economy in the world.
True.
So even if they go to a different standard, we are still in the lead. It's not like they're going to come over here and we're going to have to convert our currency. It'll still be the other way around. Okay.
And we
But
still sit on the largest deposit of gold in the world. Like, we
right.
still own the most
So,
gold as a country anyway.
but if our AAA credit rating goes down, if it goes down below AA, if it goes down to single A, or God forbid, even lower, and our dollar gets too weak, then you're going to see a conflagration of things. It's going to not just be a weakened dollar. You're going to start seeing the same thing I've been complaining about earlier. We have enough land the size of Iowa already owned by foreign entities in the United States.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia owns
understand that if we start having financial issues, how quick do you think more land is going to get sold to foreign entities to make up for it?
It's been sold already, Rose. Trust me, my friend. The Saudi Arabia owns already hundreds of thousands of acres in Texas.
So I mean, we're going into a tailspin here. So if we don't start doing some serious pivoting, okay, so now we're going to try to blame people in the government. Let me correct you for something here. That money that we send to other governments, the money we sent to Ukraine, by the way, just as a caveat, I didn't hear your whiny pussy ass bitching when we sent money to Iraq and Afghanistan. So go ahead and chew on that shit. Okay.
Rose, just
by
to
the
be
way,
clear, just to be clear about the people who whine about the 68 billion given by Congress on bipartisan way to the Ukraine, it's not like safes or boxes of US
I know.
dollars.
I'm going to get to that, hon. I'm going to get to it. See, what they don't realize is one of the reasons why our military budget is so huge is that we add money to our military budget to give foreign aid to other countries because to protect our interests, we help protect other interests.
Absolutely.
To support America, we support other countries.
Rose, can I jump in here? Hi, I'm James, by the way.
Hi, James.
Hello, James. Good morning. How
Sorry,
are you?
I've been kind of yakking. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going on something that you're already talking about, and I just like to let everybody know my situation. I'm blind, and I'm newly blind. I have advanced stage glaucoma, and over the past 7 years, I've slowly gone blind. I have 1% of sight left in one eye, and that's how I'm still able to navigate TikTok. But what I wanted to say is, the budget, if we just took care of our own overspending and abuse in our own government, for instance, I can't even get my state, which is Oklahoma, to cover an independent living school where I can learn to be blind. That's not even just job training for like voc rehab. That's just to learn how to cook, clean, function, walk down the street, and do the basic things that everybody else can do. They won't pay for that. However, they get an annual budget from the federal government of $170 something million annually, and
Yep.
they use it up in house before it even gets to their clients. I waited 3 years through voc rehab to get into this service, and then when I get there, it took another 2 years before I even saw my caseworker, who I was actively on his caseload. But every year I'd never even met the man, never even talked to the man. I would get a letter that would have me re-sign up with a treatment, or a progress plan, or whatever they call it. And yet, so my case is still active, but they won't call me back. I can't get a hold of anybody there that I get to run around. And then that's a huge problem. When that's 170 something million, that's just for one state. And by the way, we
Mm-hmm.
are the 50th state on the very bottom for services for the blind. So that's the minimum amount given to a
I am
state.
so sorry to hear that, brother. Are
I
you
am
living on
too.
your own or you have somebody with you?
I am on my own. My
Oh
family,
man.
well, it's
Huh.
it's a long story. My mom has dementia, and so my sister
Oh.
came in and
Huh.
put her in a home, took over the estate, which I'm still living on because she can't kick me out because I've lived here the longest. But she would like to. She would like to put me in a nursing home just so that she can take over and go nilly willy with the estate's money and stuff. And
I am
she already
so
got it.
sorry that you
Yeah,
went through this, brother. It's really,
well,
it's
I'm
it's
doing it,
awful.
and one of the things that I'm doing here on TikTok is just, I'm trying to be an inspiration for other people, because I hear people
Please be,
complaining about,
please.
you hear people complaining about this and that and the other, and it's like,
Hmm.
if you can just see what I'm going through, and then I'm thriving, and like I
That's
try
what
to
we're
make,
trying to bring the awareness to the people, brother. We've been doing this for so many months to
and it's time
explain
for a change.
exactly. When I use the word, we have to go to every street. We have to knock on every door to see the real ordinary Americans and what they go through. But the goddamn elected officials, they they just got the job and then they forgot about everything, and then they stand behind the party line to to please their billionaires and the people who fund their goddamn campaigns. And then the ordinary Americans like you, brother, I'm so deeply affected because I have my brother who's 100% disabled. He He's not blind. He cannot walk and he cannot talk. And my 69 years old mother, she's the one who's taking care of him. And now this is really, this is awful. This
It
is
is
awful
awful.
how, yes, it is. And then
Okay,
thank you
I
for
went.
coming up, for speaking up. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you. I went from making an incredible, like, I'm very smart. And I've never really liked to work for anybody. I've always said, if I'm going to work, I'm going to be my own pimp.
Yeah.
And so I've figured out ways to, and so I had it down before I started going blind. I had it down to where I was working 25 days a year and
Mhm.
making $70,000.
Wow,
and
that's great.
and it was just, I had a contract with two different festivals, or like, two different events,
Mhm.
the first of the summer and the last of the summer, for like 2 weeks each. And so it was like each 10-day spots, I was able to earn about $70,000. And I lived off that all year long, and I had a great life, and I traveled, and I enjoyed things. I had to live within my means, but it wasn't always about, the things I had or anything like that. It was about the freedom. And then to have
Mhm.
my freedom taken away by something out of my control, and then
Mhm.
being forced to be put on disability, and then having to get rid of everything I
Yeah.
owned that was of value over
Mhm.
a
Oh,
certain amount, because you can't have
Good
anything
Lord.
of value to qualify.
Mhm.
And then not to be able to be offered any help to, like,
Mhm.
my goal was, okay, I'm smart. So I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to have to do anything, the thing that I want to do is I want to freelance and become a court stenographer. You can do like depositions for corporations for different, you can do entertainment law anywhere. And it's a great job. It's one of the highest paying jobs for people with vision impairments and blindness. So that was my goal. And I set that up with the state, and they were like all behind, and it was all gung ho, and I was all excited. And then you just sit there and watch the excuse that, oh, we're out of funds. And and it's like, well, what the heck, and I've waited year after year after year after year after year. And I don't know. It's gotten to the point where I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and probably move from the state.
No. Don't ever say that.
Well,
don't
I'm gonna have to leave.
Ever say that.
I'm gonna have to leave this
you don't
state.
have to leave, brother. No, stop it. No,
not the United States. I'm gonna have to move to a different state because
yes, I hear you.
This state
you can move
is going to be of no help. And plus, they just passed anti-trans bills that are just ridiculous. I can't believe, that it's like, and it's become, it's not safe to be, of any kind of marginalized community minority here anymore.
I know. Yep. For how much? I want to say something. Yesterday, hang on, Rose. Okay. I want to say something yesterday. We've been talking about. I think she's talking to her family. Can you hear me, Rose?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So yesterday we've been talking about, these corporations and then I gave up exactly my case, my situation, which is I am a victim of one of these big Northeast corporation specialized in the power grid. And then they hooked me up with another power meter. I have been paying for a 2-bedroom apartment almost 7 years. And I've got charged like 5 times what my neighbors who owns a 1-bedroom apartment, like 5 times. And then when I spoke up and I said exactly, this is not going to go anywhere. And somebody yesterday told me, he was laughing at me, and April. I find him in another live, Rose. I find him in another live, Patriot Mike. He was there talking about me, laughing about me. They've been bullying me. That guy whose name is Kim the Pompadour. He said my right to power to light is a constitutional right. Tell me,
that
guys,
one
exactly.
person that was highlighted the other day in those videos.
Yeah, I know who he is. I know.
He's here. You take care of that.
Who is that?
You should be a mod for me. Let me see. There you go.
Where's he at?
He's here. He was just asking to come. He was just asking to get in the box. It's not happening.
I'm looking.
Oh, okay. I took care of it.
Oh, you found him? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to give them. I'm not even going to give them the respect of saying their name.
No.
I would just like to apologize to anybody in the chats that if you responded or if you said something to any, I can enter stuff into the chats. I just can't see like the responses. So I just try it like.
It's all right, honey. You don't know anybody anything. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, if somebody responded to me, I just don't want anybody to think I was being rude by not responding. It's just because I didn't see it.
You're not rude, brother. Don't say that. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys are bringing up, a lot of great points, and we're talking about a lot of, very personal stories of how things just need to change. They just need to change, and it's long overdue. And this digging in of the heels to resist that change is not productive. It is not helping anything. It is much more productive to belly up to the table, roll up your sleeves, and let's start compromising, and let's start finding workable solutions instead of just saying no to everything all the time.
I absolutely agree. You don't have to be a progressive to make progress. People don't understand that. You can make progress without being a progressive. It helps. I'm not gonna lie, it does help. But they don't want to make progress. In fact, they want to reverse the thing. I mean, if I was a woman, I would
I'm
be
not.
so, I would be so, I don't know. I would be livid. If I had a uterus, I would be livid at this point. I
So
don't know
you
what I
mean
would
Okay.
do.
pissed off like we are?
I would just be, I couldn't imagine
Okay.
having somebody take over my bodily rights. That's just wrong. That's not American. And that's what we
Absolutely
need to,
not.
that's not American at all.
Well,
Taking,
but it
taking
is
away,
American, though. It
taking
is.
away,
That's what this country does. And so, like, for me personally, as upsetting as it is, like, I'm just done. Like, okay, that's the rules. Then that this is the game we're in. Okay, but next time you need something from me, next time you need compassion, or you want my sympathy or my nurturing, or you want my care, it's not going to be there because I have none left. Not on that issue. I have none left.
Well, this
No,
is James.
that's
This is
my
what
thing.
happens.
That's me. I'm completely without. If you are somebody who is without compassion, kindness, love, and hope for others, I got you right back at you. Boomerang, baby.
I just made a TikTok about that. I said, all I said on the TikTok was, I'd rather be an empath. I'd rather be an empath than a sociopath or even a
Yeah.
psychopath because they have feelings too.
Well, James, this all you're talking about how women should be, all like I stated, pissed off, and we are. But this goes back to our government's being controlled by the Christian nationalists,
Oh, I know.
by
I know.
religion. That is why we are having to fight for our rights for anything.
Hey,
Has anybody
Rose.
has anybody seen the podcast Rachel Maddow did? It's called Ultra.
Yes, I have.
Okay, or listen to it. It's amazing, and it's been going on since the
I love
the
Rachel
Ford.
Maddow. She's a wonderful woman.
Yes, she
I
is,
know she
She's
is.
smart,
but
I
that
love
young,
her.
and she always owned those, the cavalry mega cupcakes.
she's fearless, and I love her for
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
And I'm surprised she still has a voice though, because well, I think she has to do it on podcasts now and different things, but um, it's amazing that they're still allowing people like that to even have a voice because our media is just as at fault as other entities. I feel,
Hey, Rose.
but
Yeah.
Sorry if you felt out if I was interrogating Walt too much.
No, he was
oh,
My
I
all right.
didn't.
brother.
It's all
No,
right.
no,
No.
no,
No.
I didn't. I was in the chats and I didn't feel like that at all. And he even said
No, it's all
that.
right.
You know,
He just
Let
Uh,
me
I
say this about our
I I
friend
run
Walt.
my live. I don't let
Yeah.
anybody run it for me. So
Yeah.
when I thought it was enough, I put a stop to it.
yeah.
It wasn't too much. Walt, you know what? I mean, I love Walt, but you know what? He gives me a headache.
The situation with Walt, it's been not once or twice, it's been a month. We have been inviting him. He comes to our boxes, me and Rose, whenever who goes live. And then he starts asking questions. We've been genuine with him, responding to his questions, and he was decent. He's respectful, but sometimes he picks a nerve or he pisses off. But the problem with what is, it's just like you're being a teacher in first or a second grade, and then you deal with those one of those stubborn kids, and then you try to correct them, you try to push them to behave, but every time he's gonna listen to you, and then you know what? Oh no, I've got this. I just after I got out of your life, and then I've had a discussion with someone who's a conservative, and told me those you've been into the liberals' lives, and all what they trying to do is to brainwash you. So I didn't appreciate what you was telling me yesterday. This is what.
Yeah.
Well, and before we get into this, I want to say two things. Two right wing folks were trying to come up, and I was trying to let them up, and there's some kind of glitch. The one guy, his name is Lefties Are Worthless, and he was trying to come up. And the other person was a lady. It was May something or other, and she was trying to come up. And I tried to bring her in twice. So it wasn't
Rose.
because I was deliberately leaving them out. I try to bring everybody in to have a say so, but sometimes TikTok doesn't agree with
Before
me.
you
So
invite anybody, Rose, I'm gonna say this: the guy who put in his bio the liberals are worthless, worthless. Don't even dare to get him into the box. He's a troll. He's a professional troll. So I blocked him in so many lives. So if you get him in here, I will be the one who's gonna kick his ass. So don't even get him in here, because you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna call everybody liars. He's gonna call everybody you're demons. You are
I know.
you're
You know
eating.
what though? I
Ugh.
kill him with kindness, and then he kind of feels like a fool when he's mean to me. So I kind of.
But then,
He came
you
to
know,
my live and he was nasty and disrespectful. I allowed some of
they,
his comments, and then I'm not sure if that was April or somebody else who kicked his ass to the limbo.
they wonder why we call them deplorable. But when
They
you
are
have something like,
deplorables, yes.
yes, but then when you have something like that in your bio, first of
Hmm.
all, nobody is worthless.
Yes.
Nobody.
and
Nobody on this planet is
and
worthless.
here
We
and
all have
here's the
value.
thing. Why is it that I can tell you exactly what you're going to say, dude, before you say it? How is it by now, after debating y'all for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, I don't know how long it's been now, that no
Hmm.
matter what the talking point is, no matter what we're talking about, you are going to tell me that I am brainwashed, or I am part of the deep state, or that I
Yeah.
am out of my mind, I'm uneducated, I don't know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
whatever excuse I have or
Dalai Lama
however
is
I
deep
explain
state.
things,
Yeah.
and it's
You
Rose,
like,
know, it's the trolls.
Rose,
I don't care. The trolls I don't care about, because they know that they're not being serious. They're just
Yes.
doing it to get you aroused. The ones that I'm
Yep.
worried about are the ones who actually believe that kind of thing, and they don't realize that
Like
they are the
Rose.
ones who have been brainwashed. They're the ones using these talking points that are all lies, that are used by their own party to get them distracted, get them on it, something else, when their own policies, they're that's what's attacking them. It's the Democrats. It's not. It's their own party. They're
Yep.
I
passing
think it can
bills and
be
passing things.
I think it could be a pretty fun
It's
game to see how many of the generic talking points we can guess before you bring them up,
Hmm.
and like a bingo card. Can we pick it? Can we pick them out?
oh
What they're gonna
yeah.
say?
yeah,
I've
Sean,
seen actually.
Mr. Nice Guy
I've
is the
seen people.
one. Oh, by the way, I don't know who did it, but kudos to the person that recorded the conversation with me and Mr. Nice Guy, of him actually offering to bring me in on a business adventure to make money, um, because somebody actually had the foresight to record that conversation, and I have it on my YouTube.
Oh Lord.
Because remember I told you how he told me, he was like, yeah, I was thinking about buying property in Pennsylvania. You get your license, and when I buy a house, I'll have you, broker it, or sell it, and we'll both make some money. Well, you know how he just acted like that was off the top of his head, and he really didn't mean it. It was just a talking point. Well, somebody recorded all that. I have it on my YouTube now. And you know what? I don't care. I don't need him. I'm going to get my real estate license, and he can just kiss my ass. It was just the point that he acted like the conversation never took place. Right. And it was like, I wonder how many other people, like, I had the extra money at the time to make the decision to go for that. But what if somebody like went and borrowed the money to do that? Or somebody like went way out of their way because they really believed what he said.
Put their
Or
life
some,
savings into it or something. Yeah, that's
yeah,
awful.
and so I'm like, and then he blocked me and didn't want to have anything to do with me after all that.
I don't think we should give them. I don't think we should give them any attention by going into the lives.
I'm not giving him
I've quit
attention. He's
doing
the
it.
deplorable one.
Yeah, I stopped. This is something that I've learned that it really helped me. Like on my videos and stuff, when when anybody like comments something rude or disgusting, or you know, is opposed to anything that I do, which I don't see. Like nothing I do is bad. It's there to be entertaining and like happy and joyful, and I try to spread happiness and love and kindness and tolerance, and I can get a little edgy, but with my political views, but they're done in humor, and I make sure that both sides can see the humor in them. For instance, like that the one video I have that's pinned, that it was like one of the first videos I ever did when I found TikTok, and it was that question and answer going around who's voting for Trump, and I put on there, well, I know the answer to this question because I went to a Trump rally, and when I got there, I thought everyone had the chicken pox, but then I learned they were just learning to eat with forks.
Hey, Kim.
And people would come at me, but you know what I do? I type 3 simple words: get well soon, and then I don't interact with them ever again.
Hey,
and
Kim.
Just get well soon. It works.
Kim, you there?
Kim, you there? He might be walking to work, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to see what he thought about my takedown of Mother of Dragons.
Oh, I saw that.
What do you think?
Little hypocrisy, isn't it?
I know. You got her good on there. It's like, woo.
But
oh my goodness.
I think we should stop going into these known hateful Republican lives, because
they thought they were
attention.
going to get me to come in there and play in one of their hateful debates. I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, we shouldn't even visit and sit and listen. I know we try to, stay informed on how they're thinking and all.
Oh, I don't go in there to stay informed. I go in there to fuck with them.
We're just giving them views and bringing people along.
Man, they don't have no respect for me. I don't even pretend I go in there to do anything nice. Oh, I go in there just to fuck with y'all.
What I think,
Yeah,
what I
sometimes
think.
I set a timer to see how long it can take me to piss them off.
Sorry,
because especially MOD and Lynn's, because they're so toxic when they debate. There's like no kindness there at all. It's just like rah, 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 rah,
it is. They're just angry damn people.
And it's like, can you be any more toxic? And it's like, and if you ask them, they'd probably be like, let me think about it and see if I can. And it's like, damn,
Well, what I think is funny about Mother of Dragons, she said that she's an attorney, but I don't think she thought out in that video that I tore down of her. I don't think she thought out her comments and how they slapped her back in the face so hard.
Yeah, her and conservative Lynn are the same way.
Oh, let me say something attacking to what you add.
Amber Alert.
So, Mother Dragon, or Candace Owens number 2, whatever she calls herself, whatever, she uses she uses the Confederate Constitution as a book of shadow where she gets all her portions and knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
Don't know if conservative.
Well, Rose and everybody else.
Ooh.
It's 6:30 where I'm at, and I've been up all night. I need to get some sleep. I just wanted to let you know that I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad I stumbled across your live. You came across my For You page, and I lurked for a while like I do, and I just listened, but I was very impressed just with the way you're handling everything, and kudos to you, and thanks for hosting this live. And to everybody else, if you want to follow me, it's much easier for me to go back through and follow you back than to try and
follow right away, brother.
You already did.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
did
already
miss.
following you,
I,
Howard.
James, I've been
Absolutely.
following you for a
all right.
while.
Well,
He's awesome.
okay.
Yes, Lisa.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's well awesome.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Oh no.
You guys all have a beautiful day, and just like try to ease the suffering of somebody today. That's all. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to heal them. Just try to ease their suffering.
Have a
All
great
right,
one.
honey, stay well.
Be safe.
Have a good day. Be
I
safe.
will. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
I will.
You too.
Thank you. Oh, Rose, you may have to boot me.
Uh-oh.
It's
Oh,
okay.
He got it.
there you go. I was gonna say I'm driving. That might not be easy.
Yeah, Shauna, you don't know. You don't want to know conservative Lynn. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? These guys are such nice people when you're not debating them, but while you get into a room with them in politics and they turn into like, I don't know. I don't even want to go there.
Werewolves. Werewolves. They turn into werewolves.
It's a gang up thing, and they
Mm-hmm.
will not let you speak. They will
Yeah.
monologue to get whatever they're spouting out for 5 minutes, and you're
And then
sitting there
whenever they
waiting to
don't win,
respond.
when they can't win, they monologue, and then whenever you don't agree, they yell at you, bitch at you, and then boot you.
Yep.
Yes, that's what they do.
And then when you when you start showing facts, like with me against Mother of Dragons, then her friends report you and get you banned.
Boy, attacking really teared into her in my
Banana.
eyes. He did. He was just. I
That's why
loved
you
it.
got your accounts both banned.
Well, I made a third one, so I think I messaged you, but I'll message you if I haven't.
Yes, please. Because my main account is banned yesterday because of the nice guy talk. Yeah, somebody from the cavalry, MAGA Cupcake Cavalry came in and then reported me.
Well, she said, the thing is I called her out on her demeanor and her
And probably that was Mother
inappropriate.
Dragon who did it. Because she was on the comment section and then, she's been,
Yeah.
I'm just joking, Kim. I'm just joking, Kim. I was like, okay, I get it.
No, I think
For an
I think
attorney.
Lynn. I think Lynn done it. I don't think it was the
One
dragons.
of
I think
them.
Lynn did
One
it.
of them, April. One of them done it.
Yeah.
I will say this: Mother of Dragons is pretty direct. She come right out and come at you. She's not one to hide.
Well, the
But
thing is this: if you're an attorney, you require you have a demeanor, because if you're going to be in front of a judge, you have a certain demeanor. And every attorney that I've talked to, whether it be personal or
Walt?
in a legal setting, hold on, they have a certain demeanor. They have ethics. They have etiquette. Mother Dragons does not have etiquette and a proper demeanor in a conversation. She just attacks and overtalks. And so she says that I'm separating my professional life from my personal life. No, I'm sorry. You are the same way in person or in business how you communicate with people.
exactly.
And as an attorney, you acquire a certain demeanor to when you present conversation towards people. You don't have
Just
two
like
different
the
ones.
Albanian troll, the conservative Albanian troll who
I
goes
don't know
everywhere.
about that because I can be pretty toxic, and I know how to behave myself in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, but an attorney, attorneys,
hang on, Walt.
they receive,
Walt,
they
that's
start
not nice to
to
call
pattern
someone's a
themselves.
liar many times.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, attacking. I'm just trying to respond to Walt.
Yeah.
Walt, we like you. You're a decent man. We don't have nothing against your political beliefs or anything. So you keep calling somebody a liar. That's not nice. I know. Definitely, she can allow you again into the box. But you know what? Come on,
I
man.
told him he called me a liar again. He was going to get his ass kicked out of the box.
Yeah.
Walt, I've told you about the
We like
Republicans
you,
wanting
Walt.
to
We
take.
have nothing against you personally.
Walt, I've told you that the Republicans want to take away Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, and you say that that's not true. You don't want to listen to the Republicans who are saying that. So you're being.
Do I need to start it for you? Yes.
You're not wanting to accept facts and truth yourself. You.
It's right here. I was opening the door. I'm not in the front. Why are you opening?
Oh, come on, Walt. Come on.
I can't.
Okay. Do you need to sign it here? Okay.
Wait. See, no.
Okay.
Ah, motherfucker. I don't need the pen.
Okay.
Damn, Kim, if she into you, that MF come out.
What?
I know. She was cussing at that. She was cussing at the
She
seatbelt.
just didn't have. She didn't have the
talk.
accent on it.
Walt, let me tell you, brother. So if you wanna fact check all those statements about Republicans who wants to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and all the disability and the welfare and everything. So I am inviting you to go check Senator Rick Scott from the great state of Florida, and then go and check the majority whip, the congressman from the great state of Minnesota. Go and check what they are talking about. Go and check what they are promoting, and then you will find the answers for you and for the next years when you will retire.
Yeah, but Kim Depp, can you hear me?
You can just call me Kim. You don't have to struggle with reading the whole name. Kim is fine. Don't worry about it.
All right,
Yes,
Kim.
go ahead.
The serious problem that we have is that for the last 3.5 years, our financial situation has gone into disaster form. And the only way that we're going to make it better is if we remove the people that created the disaster. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand. I can follow you. Let me ask you the question. Remove the people who created the disaster. Who are these people? Please, if you can explain.
Well, if I just told you for the past 3 years, I mean, you're an intelligent person. You know who created all these disasters. You know who sent all of our tax money to another country.
Oh
and
my
now
God.
there's
Oh yes.
miscalculation.
Well, oh
Whoa.
no, guys.
Hang on,
Come on,
let him finish,
let's go
please.
back
there's
here.
Let
Hold
him
on.
finish.
Hold
Let
on.
him finish, please. Let him finish. Go ahead,
There's
Corrado.
miscalculation. The problem
Yeah.
is that the processing account miscalculation of funds and loss of money that we can
What about the
track
What about the
now
$7.8 trillion
A
is
second,
big
please. Let him
that
finish,
Trump
please.
added?
Let him finish, and then we will
we
respond
also
to
have
you. Go ahead, Corrado.
yes please, because we also have an inflation that is up, it was
You're breaking up really bad, so get somewhere
No,
where we can
let him
understand
continue
you.
so he breaks up the entire time. Hush. Don't spoil it.
budgets. Also in certain cities, an egg is $14, and I think that's just outrageous. Meanwhile, what happens is that when they confront these people and they talk to these people about current situation, it doesn't matter or what at the end, all the same, they all go to the grocery store, they'll pay the same price. They'll go to the gas station, they'll pay the same price. So why anybody to have these 3 years continue for another 4 years would be beyond me completely, because the people that are on the people.
I don't know who you think you're monologuing in my room. You just gonna come in here and monologue for 20 minutes like you Jack the Ripper or some shit.
Well,
Whose
he
room
was
do you think
saying
you in?
he
Huh?
broke up. I couldn't even understand what he was saying.
Well,
I
damn.
didn't hear a word from this guy.
I
I
didn't
didn't hear
either.
a word.
He was all
Let me
robotic.
just respond to him.
He had poor connection.
Let me respond
I
to him.
mean,
I heard a
for
segment
crying
of
out
his
loud.
speech.
Number one, we
Mm,
go all the way back 3 years. Well, it's the beginning of 23. So that
yeah.
means we would have to be going back to the beginning of 2019. Let me see. Oh, well, maybe the beginning of 2020, which means the beginning of 2020. Oh, look, the little
All right.
baby ran away.
So I want to just respond to this guy. I will use his logic against him. He said, "Let's get rid of the people who brought us here into this chaos." 3 years ago, 3 years ago. This current administration is just not even 2 years, right? And then 3 years. That means we have to back a year before. Who put us in this situation? That was the disaster orange Cheeto who gave a almost $8 trillion tax break for his billionaire conservative gods. Otherwise, he will become poor and they will kick his business and then he will become like a homeless. That's why he did that. So this is for you, Sir Limbo or Lombo, whatever your name is, Mr. Corrado. So take it from me on everybody else here.
So what happened to for backup now?
Thank you,
Let me
Rose.
mute. Hi, Walter. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Cam. I was
I
stating
don't know,
facts
people
earlier,
keep falling out the damn
and,
box.
and
We're
I
gonna have to get
upset
some damn
Rose, and I
guardrails up in this
apologize.
bitch. Well, that's fine. I told you called me a liar one more time, I was gonna kick your ass out the box.
Rose, I have never called you a liar.
You did call her a
If I
liar.
cut,
Stating
I
facts.
heard it. You said you're lying, Rose. You're lying, Rose.
April, what makes you think I said that she was lying? I never said that.
You did say it.
I never said you're a liar. Never, ever.
You said, Rose, you're lying. Rose, you're lying.
I never said that. You can post it, record it, whatever you want. I respect her too much to say you're a liar.
But
We
every
have
time,
different opinions.
if we state something though, you automatically assume that we're not telling the truth about what we're stating.
If I say something different from what you're saying, that's not saying you're a liar. I'm just saying a different point of view. I don't see how that's a problem.
Well, here's the problem. It's okay to have a different point of view. It's not okay to throw out that different point of view or opinion when it's not based on facts. It's not based on documented policy over and over again. When you came on a minute ago and you were talking about look at the past 3 years or whatever.
oh, that wasn't him, honey. That wasn't him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That wasn't him,
I don't know
sweetie.
what you're
Okay.
talking about.
No, it's
Obviously,
okay,
he's a
Walt. He
Walt.
thought
It's
you
Democrat.
were
okay,
Well,
Walt.
then
somebody
you
else.
haven't
It's
been
okay.
listening. Okay.
It's all right, Walt.
What I
You
was
thought you were
talking
someone
about
else. Chill out.
in Clinton's years and Obama's years, the government was shut down because they would not pass a budget or not raise the debt ceiling. Rose said
Republicans shut that down, Walt.
Republicans did do it. That's a fact. The fact is,
Back when Obama was president, Walt, when they shut the government down, that was because Trump couldn't get his wall funded. And that's why that got shut down. That was different. This is because of the debt ceiling. If this shuts down, Walt, everything will go. You need to understand this is different. This is paying to keep the lights on. This is paying your credit card bills. This is paying your debts. This is not the same thing as getting your way in a political fight. This is different.
Rose, what I said was when Clinton was opposed by the Republicans, they shut the government down. Social Security was still paid. And the Republicans
But
got upset
that's
with Obama. They shut the government down. They said no debt ceiling. So the government shut down. Social Security is still paid. You kicked me out because I was stating those facts. You can look them up if you
no,
want.
I kicked you out because you're wrong and you kept calling me a liar.
I never have
If
said
you
you're a
think
liar.
you did.
Hold on, Chris. Hold
And
on.
I told you if you called me a liar one more time, I was going to kick you out the box. And I am a
never
bitch
said.
of my word. I will pop you out that box in a New York minute.
Rose, you know I admire you too much to insult you, but never call you a liar. You have a different opinion than me, and that's fine.
Hey,
But I
It's
never.
not
Walt.
an opinion.
Hey,
An
Walt.
opinion is pineapple is good on pizza. That's an opinion. An opinion is different than a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Walt. Let me ask you a question. So
I was stating facts.
I've said to you earlier that the Republicans want to take away Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, and you said that's not true. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Okay. So if I send to you to TikTok DM and it has a video of Rick Scott, Mike Lee, and other Republicans saying that they want to discontinue Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare, would you believe that finally?
You said Rick Scott?
Rick
Yes.
Scott of Florida, Mike Lee,
Rick
and Ron
Scott does
Johnson.
not control.
Hold on. They want, and also just recently, Kevin McCarthy wants to hold Social Security, Medicaid against the debt ceiling. So you have these four people who want to reevaluate paying Social Security. So if I sent you these videos and you played them, would you believe it then?
It doesn't matter
Why?
Why?
what I believe or what you believe. The fact of the matter is Social Security is paid.
No,
going to
they can
continue.
stop
Not
it.
gonna be paid, Walt.
They can stop it, Walt.
Hmm.
They can stop Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security from being paid out because they consider it a luxury or whatever they were using.
They call
An
it
entitlement.
Entitlement.
That's
Thank
what
you,
they
back
call
up.
it. Yes, exactly.
An entitlement. So if they were to stop, to stop it, okay, that would hurt millions of senior citizens, Walt.
That's exactly
Well,
right.
actually,
Not going to happen.
what they
But
do.
what if it does, Walt? Then what? What if it does? What if they do stop it? Then what?
Well, not about what if. Why do they want to stop it? They have no right to stop it. It might be an entitlement. You're goddamn right. Those people are entitled to it. They paid into it. It's theirs. It's their debit card for retirement.
Yes.
So
Right,
yeah,
honey,
I'll say it's an
our
entitlement. You're
governor.
damn right. They're entitled to it.
Thank you,
But
sir.
here's the thing, hon. The people of the United States have been entitled to a whole hell of a lot through as U.S. citizens that they don't give us. This is just another add-on to the bucket. Okay,
That's not an
so
add-on.
Walt, I want to ask you something, Walt. Who
Go ahead.
in our government is responsible, completely and totally responsible for funding in our government?
Rose, I don't know where you're going with this, but the fact of the matter is Social
Please
Security
answer a question,
is
Walt.
paid for.
Just
It's
answer
straightforward
what
question.
part of our
Who
government is
who is the
responsible for paying
goddamn
our bills?
institution from our government? Who is funding the Social Security? Who is funding the government? Tell us.
Who's responsible for paying the bills?
Kim.
Yes.
I'm going to go Kim first and then April. Kim.
Yes.
We have paid in. We get paid because the Ponzi scheme that we set up, they are going to pay us and they're obligated to.
I am getting tired of this beat around the bush bullshit. Everybody mute now.
Let's not beat around the bush.
Everybody mute now.
Okay.
Back up, mute.
Why'd I
Walt,
mute?
mute. I want you to hit your mute button, honey.
Okay.
Walt, hit your mute button.
I don't know where it is. I'm being quiet. If that's what you want, I'm quiet.
All right. Now, I am going to say this once, and then I'm going to ask you once. And if you don't give me a direct answer, I'm going to pop you out of the box again because I'm getting a headache. The House of Representatives is the sole proprietor and responsible owner and only party that funds the U.S. government. So, who funds Social Security, Walt?
So you're allowing me to speak now? Okay, I will.
I asked you a question.
I do. You do. Kim does.
No.
We all fund it.
We are the ones that pay into it. But for
That's
what we pay into it to go back out into the system, that means we need a government. The same House of Representatives that I just told you about. So, Walt, who is responsible for paying Social Security?
The same group of people who paid it when the Clinton shutdown happened. The same people who paid it when Obama shut down. This shutdown will still get paid. The people who don't get paid.
Did I not tell you this beat around the bush shit is not working for me?
That's not a beat around the bush. I'm stating facts.
It is. You are not answering my fucking question.
The question
you are
is,
not 5 years old, Walt.
Apparently,
you are not 5 years old. This little play game that you do with me, I'm not doing it right now. You are either going to answer me like I am a grown-ass woman and I have the respect that I deserve as another human being in a conversation, or you are going to leave the box.
Rose, I respect you.
I am going to ask you one more time. Who funds the U.S. government?
We do.
Hang on, Rose. Let me say this. Okay, we do through our money, but who's the people? Who's the people? So we have voices in Congress, right? Well, are you following me so far?
Yes.
So okay, so our representatives, who are our voices in the U.S. Congress, both Senate and the House of Representatives. But the House of Representatives has the constitutional power to fund the government. And all the obligations, all the crap we've been talking about right now, not a single penny will come out of the treasury or the Fed or the banks or anywhere or whatever you want to call it without the approval of the Congress, of the House of Representatives. That's their constitutional duty. So yes, I agree with you. We are paying for that. Through what? Through our representatives in Congress. Why is this so hard for you to say it, to spit it out of your mouth, Walt?
Oh, Kim, let me be a little bit condescending. You know why the chat cannot answer? Nobody can answer because nobody actually knows what the Constitution says. Walt does not know the Constitution because if Walt knew the Constitution, he wouldn't beat around the belly of the bush and he would just come right out and say, the Constitution states that the House of Representatives is the only branch of government that funds the government. They are the only ones that fund the government, period, end of point, case in point, stop, full stop, done. That's it. Nobody else funds the government. Nobody else budgets the government.
Did you
Nobody
get it,
else
Walt?
allocates money for
Now?
the government.
Rose,
Yes.
may I ask Walt just two questions and two questions only?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Walt, do you receive Social Security?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Now, Walt, what will you do if your Social Security is taken away from you by the Republicans? Answer that specifically, nothing else. What will you do?
Specifically, I will call my representative and ask him, what is your problem?
Well, you're not receiving any money. How are you going to live off of with no money?
I am going to ask my representative, where's my money?
But if you
You
don't
want me to
receive
come?
if you don't receive a monthly check, what are you going to do
I'm
from
going to
there?
go live in his living room, which is, from what I understand, very nice.
What are you going to do without any money monthly? What will you do?
Obviously, have to rely on my savings.
Okay. But that Social Security helps you still, correct?
It helps me, yes.
Okay. So without that, just like millions of others, they will be SOL, shit out of luck, correct? Correct? Yes or no?
I'm saying some people will be out of luck. I won't be, but yes, some of them will.
And are you okay with that?
It's not going to happen, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm
The
sorry.
fact of the matter is, this has
I'm
happened
sorry,
before.
but
You know
you're
why, Walt?
Well,
Because it's not going
I
to
have a
affect
question.
you.
I have a
That's
question,
why.
and it's not about money. I have a question, Walt.
Go ahead,
Do
April.
do you uh do you have Medicare?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any health problems?
No, I don't. Sorry.
You don't,
I'm
but do
very
you,
happy for you.
yeah. But do you get regular visits and all that? So if your Medicare is taken away, do you believe Congress um is the way that you get paid your Medicare?
I have said this over and over again. Every time the government shuts down, there's an obligation by the federal government to pay the basics.
But no, dear, what you're not understanding, Congress is the one that allows them to send out your Medicare payments to your doctors,
I do
that
understand.
allows you to have Medicare, that sends out your monthly checks to you.
So let me now that I've taken a few seconds to cool off, let me just say this, and let me break this down to people who don't understand. When you work a job and they take those taxes out of your paycheck, that tax money gets sent to the IRS, or it goes from your paycheck into the government funds, or to the government. The government then takes that money and it goes into the general fund, and the general fund goes into the budget. The budget is then allocated by Congress to get sent out to where it needs to go. All right. And that money is then sent out and allocated through the budget every month. The Congress is the one that decides where that money is budgeted out to go. All right. That money is budgeted and allocated according to how much our government is given and how much we have to pay our bills. Okay. If we do not have enough to pay our bills, just like anybody else who does not have enough to pay our bills, what happens if somebody goes to pay their bills and there's not enough in the bank to pay your bills? Things start to bounce. If the American government starts to bounce when our bills are not being paid, then those that we owe money to are going to start asking for those collections. When those collections cannot be paid, then our credit is going to come into question. When our credit comes into question, our AAA credit rating goes down to AA. When our credit rating goes down to AA, our interest rate goes up. Okay? When our interest rate goes up, it costs our country trillions of dollars. Also, during that time, if we do not raise the federal deficit and cover our bills, we will start to see the government shut down within a couple of weeks. And I mean, everything will start to shut down. We will have a couple weeks allocation before all this, but after a couple weeks, we might be able to get past the beginning of February. But very soon after that, we're going to start seeing shit shut down. Your state parks are going to shut down. All your extra resources are going to shut down. And yes, your checks, your food stamps, your medical, or not medical, but your checks in the mail from the government, whatever, everything that the government does and sends out and pays is going to stop. And
Rose?
we can argue about misappropriated funds. You can do the blame game. You can do the crying shame. You can sit here and cry into your tears or whatever. But we are all in the United States of America. We are all going to suffer when the House doesn't do their job. So if you think that you're going to win some kind of game and own the libs, pack your bags, because you're not going to be going on that trip alone. Everybody's going together.
Rose?
What?
Were you aware of what happened the last time we had two government shutdowns? The budgets were not approved. The government shut down. What happened then? Are you aware?
There is. I told you before, Walt. There's a difference between the government shutting down because you didn't pass a budget, and the government shutting down because you didn't put enough money in the bank to pay the bills.
That has happened. And what happened?
Let me
That's
say
what
this
I'm asking
again.
you.
Well, let me respond to your question.
Go ahead,
So,
Cam.
absolutely. Thank you. So, the last government shutdown was done by the former president because he didn't get the money to fund the goddamn shameful wall in our southern border. That it's different. You know, I'm gonna explain to you exactly what happened to those 3 months shutdown. You know what? That was a direct threat, straightforward threat to our national security. Guess what? How many TSA federal agents were furloughed, sent home? And how many of them who was begging the doors of Dunkin' Donuts to get a job because they have families and mouths to feed and to put food on table? How many? Over 190K federal employee was affected by that stupid decision. This is just.
And by the way,
just.
since somebody mentioned it in the chat, we're going to go over this again because I guess we have to go over it again.
I know, Rose.
The money
Yeah.
the money that got sent to Ukraine is money that is taken out of the federal military budget, which would never go to the American people. It would never go to feed people. It would never go to help people. It would never go to immigration. It would never go to help the states. It would never go to help the state government. It would never go to help anybody. It was in the military budget. Our military budget actually allocates for money to go to help other countries. It actually sets money aside to go to other countries. This is actually money. Oh, lies? Do we want to call me a liar? Does it make you feel good to call me a liar? Guess what? It's not your life. Call me a liar all you want.
Here's
Whatever.
the thing, Rose. Let me ask questions, Walt, and all the people who think that the government shutdown will make an end to the tyrannical government, or will make them happy. So, a shutdown. Are you guys okay with the TSA? Let me just pick the TSA. It's a federal entity which takes care, which secures our borders in the airports, right? So are you guys okay that 100,000 PSA agent, federal agent, will be sent home for at least 5-6 months? And then, do you guys care about those people? Do you guys care about our national security at the airports? This is a quite
Tim, do you want me to
straightforward
address
question.
that?
I'm sorry?
I can address that if you want me
Please
to.
go ahead, Walt. I'm listening. I'm gonna mute.
During the last 2 shutdowns, TSA employees, to their credit, stayed on the job. After the shutdown was over, the budget was approved. They got paid back pay with interest.
Oh,
So
by
yes,
the
they're
way,
awesome people.
just make sure we highlight the fact that even if you don't get paid, security will still work during all this.
That's a
So,
fact, Rose.
yeah. So people that have to work will still work. Your police officers will still have to work. Your emergency folks will still have to work. Unpaid. Thank you, House of Representatives. And believe me when
Sometimes,
I say it will hang on this House of Representatives. Democrats will hang Republicans for this one every step of the way, because unlike most of my friends, I happen to have watched all those negotiations. And for Kevin McCarthy, the coward that he is, to become the leader of the Republican Party in the House, he had to suck ass and promise to sink the American public and to promise not to raise the debt ceiling to become the leader. So everybody in America will know that he had to make sure that he was going to sink the entire country to become leader of the House. Thank you, Kevin McCarthy.
Now,
Rose.
what I would like to say is, I think too much attention and focus is on Walt and Republicans like Republican Conservative 2.0 and Gender Destroyer, because they keep putting up misinformation or ignorant information. And why that's important is because the fact of the matter is, if you vote for Republicans, you are voting against your own interests. Now, I'll give you an example. When the PACT Act for veterans who are exposed to toxic chemicals and receiving treatment or suffering from diseases, cancers, and stuff like that were related to that exposure, burn pits, burn barrels. The Republicans voted against it, saying that, okay, if you got to say something, just cut your mic off, Walt. I don't need to hear you grumble while I'm trying to say something for a distraction.
I'm
Walt, what are
sorry.
you doing?
Yeah, now you need to listen to this. When they voted
I'm
against the
listening.
PACT Act, they said it was because there was inappropriate funding in the PACT Act. Now, just like a retraction in a newspaper, they made a mistake in
Is
their
that two
reporting.
words talking or what?
Hold on. They did not retract their lies. They told the people that they did not fund the PACT Act because there was inappropriate funding or slush funds or pork in the PACT Act. 2 weeks later, they all voted for it because people that knew the truth started hammering on them to vote for it, and they finally voted for it. But here's the gist of it. The Republicans' number one agenda, no matter who it kills, who it hurts, or who it defunds, are against anything the Democratic Party does, no matter what it is. Rush Limbaugh, CPAC 2009, coined it and made it happen. That's what the whole that's why they said over and over again with Obama, we're going to see him make a one-term president. That's our number one goal. Mitch McConnell, Jim Jordan. Now, the reason why that's important is because the documents and the facts prove it. They voted for the PACT Act. You can go look at their vote after they started catching hell because they lied. and they lied to you. They didn't lie to the Democrats, because the Democrats do their research and read the documents, and they know the truth.
Oh, I'd like to say something here for backup. There's a comment down in here. Now, see, somebody, this is what kills me. Conservatives complain that we call them mean. They complain that we call them inhumane. They complain that we say they're heartless and cruel and they don't care about Americans, fellow Americans, and even veterans and all these other things. And they say that that's not true. And then we have a comment like, will the bill? Gen X says, I'll highlight down here. I say shut it down until they agree to stop spending our money on BS and take care of us. So, will the bill, he wants to stop Social Security for old people. He wants to make sure those kids go without food. He wants to make sure the buses don't run. People can't use that public. He wants to make sure that the American people suffer as much as humanly possible, because God forbid anything in the government run to benefit the American people, the public interest, or anybody besides Bill himself. Because God forbid we want to do anything for the American public or somebody besides the person in the mirror. And of course, after that comment, conservative Lynn, it jumps on in and says, I'm right there with you, and backs him up. And it's like, you know what? Absolutely. And wonders why we just say, well, just like the Grinch, maybe your heart's just a few sizes too small.
He's the Grinch.
But see,
just look at all the damage they've done.
You know,
when they
and
voted,
the thing is
when
that
they voted,
the thing is,
ahead,
hon, is that they didn't say any of that for that big old $1 trillion tax cut to them big old businesses in 2017 that their main man, Cheeto man, went ahead and gave to all them billionaires and big corporate tax breaks. That $1 trillion there that sent that deficit, you know. And, you know, that was a might, though. That was a might and a maybe and a hand in a handbasket and a wish in the other, right? I mean, they weren't okay with that. They're okay with forgiving those PPP loans. Forgive all that shit. We can afford to do all that, but we can't help anybody with their school loans. All that hypocrisy, we just supposed to let all that go and forget about all that. And then we want to turn around and complain. But then we didn't want to even give the first black president ever the decency of understanding that he was really born in America. No, he didn't even get that decency. He had to actually argue that they thought that he was born in Kenya. I mean, and who did that? Who started that movement? Wait, who was that? That's right. That movement was started by the 45th president. That's right. The 45th president was the one that condemned and talked down to the 44th president for so long.
They don't get that. There was no retraction when Ted Cruz was born in Canada. Okay, that's not America. He was born to American parents, just like Obama. But Obama wasn't born in Kenya. And even if he was, he still would have been born to an American parent, which made him an American citizen.
Now, see, and here's another one here, honey. Conservative Lynn thinks that trying to tell Walt that I'm not his friend because I'm not a conservative. Walt, she thinks that I don't like you because we don't share the same ideology, Walt. She thinks you're that shallow that you can't look at me as your friend simply because we don't share the same ideology.
And Walt,
Conservative
am I your friend?
thinks that we are that shallow,
We
Walt.
have always been friends.
Yes. So mind your biz, Liz. God. No,
April.
we don't allow people that just go on
Yeah,
monologues
just like I
about their
wouldn't come in your
bullshit.
little just like I wouldn't get in your little toxic box last night. You're not going to get in my box and be toxic
Yeah.
today, because I don't play that. Let's put friends up against each other. That was a little bit over the pale for me. That see, just because me and Walt don't agree politically doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. And you sat in here and say, I wouldn't be around those people when they talk bad about me like that. See, here's the thing. I'm not a petty little cunt. I don't have to treat Walt with disrespect because I like Walt. I may not agree with the things that he likes as far as his policies, but I don't have to mistreat him. I'm not like that. I don't say you have to get into my little think corner and group think ideology to be my friend. I like Walt because I like Walt. It's
Oh,
okay that he's
bullshit,
a
Lynn. Walt
Republican.
doesn't see we've been disrespectful to him. You come in on
April.
the tail end of something.
The fact of the matter is, April, I respect you. Rose and I have wonderful families. I respect her families, her opinions. I will never disrespect her.
We respect you too,
Do you see
Walt.
what she
Too,
tried to
Walt.
do
That's
there,
why
Walt?
we're friends.
Do you see what she tried to do there, Walt? She tried to get you to think that because we
Oh,
didn't agree
liberals
together
are
that
horrible. They're evil.
I was your enemy, Walt.
Yep, that's what they do so they can gang up.
And I have seen this over and over again. Sometimes they come in with a setup. They ask me some questions, set me up so they're going to make me look stupid. And it's okay. Rose is a decent person. I admire her. I respect her. April is a good person. I admire her. Kim is a good guy. I admire and respect him.
Thank you. We admire you too, Walt. Absolutely. Yeah.
And see, Walt is still a Republican. We didn't try to convert him or change him. We just disagree on different issues. That's all.
And our issues are basically very similar, but small.
Lynn,
No,
who
Lynn,
are you
no.
to speak for Walt?
That's wrong,
just
Lynn. What you're saying
bullshit.
is wrong.
See, you causing division.
Now, see, Walt,
He's
if I
always
actually
welcome
brought
in
her
my
up
life,
here,
you know.
see, if I actually brought her up here, Walt, she would be so toxic, and everybody would be jumping on her for being toxic, and then she would go back to her little corner and tell everybody how we beat up on her because she came up in the box and was so toxic.
And she gets in her
That's
live
why
and then
she's
she
not
hits
up
that
here.
share button and gets all her little groupies
I'm
in
curious.
because
Kim,
it's got to be
you had some
saved up.
comments. What was that, Kim?
What was that?
Kim
may be at work right now, Walt.
I can hear
he
you,
might
Walt.
be
Yes,
on.
brother. Yes.
you had something to say. I wanted to listen to you. I couldn't hear you.
No, Kim's just a hell of a nice guy, conservative. That's why.
He's not conservative,
That's
but
all
he's
it
a
is.
Oh,
nice
thank you,
guy.
Walt.
I do
Yeah,
But
like
you
the
said
one
something.
comment. I do like the one comment that was typed in there, 5 against 1. Well, you know what's kind of funny? The people on the right, they like 5 against 1 too.
There is a
But
terrible echo in
they're not.
Rose.
But they're
I
not
don't
as.
know if you need to restart the line.
But they're not as respectful as everybody's being in here to Walt. See, they like to really call out names and hate and all this stuff. See, we're not doing that with Walt.
Yeah.
We're just pointing things out.
What's the first thing they say to me attacking when I come in? Are you gonna apologize for being white?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm not against anybody on the Republican Party. I'm against their policies because their policies over 23 years 2000, 2001, starting a $20 trillion war in Iraq over lies, weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. It killed over 1 million people in the Middle East and thousands of American soldiers. It cost the American taxpayers over $20 trillion. Do you know where that $20 trillion is sitting right now? The national debt. 2.9 trillion of the national debt is Social Security. So that shouldn't even be an issue because that's our debit card. That money has been paid in. The rest is just constantly built up. Now, I disagree with the Democrats and the Republicans that we have to raise the debt ceiling because the annual GDP of the United States is over $209 trillion. There are things that we can do to make things better and reduce the debt. And do you know how much the dollar would be worth if we eliminated the national debt? Do you know how
And the
much the
thing
dollar would
is,
be worth? Our
the
dollar
thing
would be the
is
top currency in the world, more valuable than gold.
It is.
But what we're doing is allowing our employees, our elected official employees, to run the kitchen into the ground. Now, most people say Democrats and Republicans are exactly the same. They do the same stuff. No, they don't. Their policies prove it. The bills that they try to pass that are beneficial to the American people, the American taxpayer, the citizens of the United States, prove it over and over again. Republicans hold corporate interest prize. And I'll give you an example, a really good example. If you look up in your state how much money in your state is received by your state on minerals and natural resources that belong to the people of your individual state, and then you see what the market value of those same resources are, you'll see that your resources are being sold to corporate friends and corporate marketers and corporate lobbyists, bosses for pennies on the dollar. So when they talk about we can't afford Medicaid, we can't afford education, paid for education, my child should be able to go to school or college for free. There shouldn't even be property taxes. The example I'll give you is in North Dakota, we have 20 plus billion barrels of oil. The market value of a barrel of oil is over $100 a barrel. We receive 15 cents on the dollar when our price per barrel is above $90. Once it drops below $90, we receive 5 cents on the dollar for our oil. But guess how much we're paying at the pump? As much as anybody else. And that's unfair to the American people when North Dakota has a population of 700,000 and our annual GDP is $70 billion just in North Dakota. California's is like California, I think, is $1 to $2 trillion. Their GDP is $1 to $2 trillion. It matters because the people aren't being compensated the way they should fairly. They're not being compensated fairly for the sale of their resources and minerals. So when oil companies talk about, well, Biden stopped drilling on federal lands, you just stop it right there and say, who do the federal lands belong to? How much money are we getting from the oil that comes out of federal lands? It's probably 5 cents on the dollar, 15 cents on the dollar. Guess who made those deals? The Republicans. The Republicans are selling you out across the board nationwide. That's all I've got to say.
we are wasting billions and billions on nothing but a tug of war of bullshit. And those that are in power and putting money in their pockets are looking at us and watching us like two dogs fighting over the same bone while they are making money.
Can I comment really quick?
Yep.
Conservative Lynn, I noticed that you commented about being bullied and you can bully back. But I'll bet you can't do this. I'll bet you can't match us fact to fact, evidence to evidence, document to document in regards to the things that Donald Trump's done and the things that you spew in regards to lies. Would you like to compare facts and facts? Because I would definitely tear you up.
I think she left attacking because she wasn't getting platformed.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, she left.
She wasn't getting platformed, so she
You mean I
left.
wasted that for nothing? God damn it.
I know. I
Yeah,
was
she
I was
left.
ready to chime in on that attacking.
Why do you want to
Well,
attack?
because unlike Walt, they're not genuine. They're disingenuous. Walt is actually here to have a conversation even if he doesn't agree. That's why he's still here.
I'll give you an example,
they're
Walt. I'll give you an example. The people on the right, I don't know about you, just so you know, say that there was mass voter fraud in the 2020 election. And they say it without ever providing any proof because Donald Trump says it. Well, the documentation that there was no mass voter fraud are all the audits that were done and the paper ballots that were counted. That shows that there was no mass voter fraud. Now, the difference is there voter fraud? Yes, but there was no mass volume of voter fraud. The system works. People who cheat get caught. It's documented. Those people who cheated, whether it be Republican or Democrat, have been caught. But there was no mass voter fraud in the hundreds of thousands that Donald Trump says, the 10,000 unalived people, or the 5,000 underage voters. Those are called lies. So the thing is this, the system works. The people on the right, again, not like you, I'm not pointing it to you, people on the right who believe Donald Trump never provide documents, proof, evidence of anything that they say. But we provide proof, and then they call it fake.
And especially when Dragon and Conservative Lynn go in and they were spouting about the Supreme Court case. I went brain dead, so attacking
Brunson versus Adams.
That's it. And just kept saying, "Oh yeah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen." That's what the Congress is waiting for. That's why they're waiting on voting for the speaker. No, they voted before it happened. They act like they know everything with no facts, no proof, nothing.
Because they're echo chambered, that's what they tell them, and they're listening to certain specific news sources that tell them these things. They give them the little sliver of truth, and then they trail them along to a conspiracy theory that tells them it's true. And because they think that it's something nobody else knows, they think that they are wise to an information that nobody else has, which gives them knowledge or privilege that others don't have. So they believe that they're in the right.
And then in Brunson versus Adams, what Barrister says is they can't be sued for sovereign immunity because the government can't be sued for doing their job. So they were safe. Plus, the thing is, in regards to Brunson versus Adams, they were trying to sue Joe Biden, who was not even president yet. So they're trying to include him in this for not doing his job and checking out the voter fraud that they say was there. So they even have that mistakenly in there, trying to sue them for not doing their job in regards to the government action. So they were ignorant in regards to this entire case.
Totally. And it's just like the live I had yesterday, where they were stating that but Biden's been in office 2 years. He didn't do anything to address immigration. And I'm saying, my God, he said they had the House, the Senate. He didn't do anything. Yeah, we have more important things to deal with the shit that Trump left us
Take
in
care,
the
Sean.
can.
Thank you.
April.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, and you can't talk to them because when you give them logic, they blow you off. And it's like, come on. I mean, look, I get it. I get it. You don't like Biden, fine. You don't have to like him. But if you're going to pick somebody else over your own president, I don't care if you like him or not. Trump was still
even when I didn't like them. Okay? If you're going to pick somebody else or another country over your own, I'm going to call your ass a traitor. And I'm going to say it with full force and effect and pride in my chest. Okay?
Well, when
So
they don't call
You
out the
should.
beating of 140 cops at the United States Capitol by Trump lovers, when they don't acknowledge that the people who were arrested were not Antifa, when they do not call out the unaliving that was caused by Trump's lies of American citizens and blood being spilt on the United States Capitol floor caused by Trump, you're not a patriot.
Sorry.
no, sure not.
Good night, backup. Have a good day.
Yeah, and I'm just, and then they try to do this whataboutism, and I'm sorry, yes, there is corruption on both sides, but it's not equal. And you can't give me that equality shit on both sides. I'm not buying it.
Savannah, 7 people were unalived that day, or not that day. 7 people lost their lives due to the cause of that attack. Do you know the people of Benghazi, Savannah? I'm going to assume that you don't, but I'll bet you hold Hillary Clinton responsible for Benghazi. And by the way, Savannah,
hang on a second. Let me respond to this comment down here. Let me see. What's his name? I hope he's not gone. What is he? I think somebody got him. He said, for the people who still believe that January 6th is a thing, is a loser, and they are getting their facts from CNN. Let me break it up to you, Miss or Sir. Let me say this. For the people who believe that the January 6th was a peaceful riot are the losers, actually. Are the losers, and they are blind, denying, those domestic terrorists were alive and they are bragging live on their social media about their breaching the temple of democracy. They participated in creating trauma, creating drama, destroying everything. They were about to unalive the second person in a line to the presidency. Can you guys imagine if that happened to Nancy Pelosi? And then, the whole country will be in chaos.
well, hey, better yet, Savannah, do you know the names of the 7 people that lost their lives due to January 6th? Do you know the names?
Our friend
Because I
Wyatt
can
sure
because I can
does.
go to
He
my
can
because
name
I can go to my
one.
computer and pull it up. But do you know the names off the top of your head? Do you know the names of the 140 cops that were beat by the January 6th attack? Do you know them, Savannah? Do you know the names of the 384 Americans at 23 diplomatic facilities under Bush and Reagan that lost their lives? Do you know the names of the 4 people of Benghazi that lost their lives? Do you know these names, Savannah? Or are you just putting that out there so you can seem like you're an intelligent person?
She must have left.
Yeah, I think we're getting boring.
Yeah. They're not being platformed. Or somebody booted her.
Somebody said, I bet you guys think the Summer of Love was a peaceful protest.
All
Read the
you
room,
need is
bro.
love. Dun, da, 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 da.
No, he asked you, can you name everything? Did you not listen to what he was saying?
Name them, Savannah, because I can go to my computer and pull them up, as you can too. But I bet you don't know them off the top of your head unless you've been looking them up all this time.
So, Savannah, which you don't know, which you're just coming in,
She put 4 of them in. She put 4
Walt,
names in.
Walt here is our friend, and he's a Republican, and he is kin to Ashley Babbitt. So, yeah.
You forgot the
Stick
you
that
forgot the
somewhere
police
else.
officer. You forgot the police officer that lost his life. Savannah, how come?
Yeah, why is the police officer not
That was
in
a day later.
My comment, Walt, was
Yeah,
the
that's
7
what's
people
taking
that
so long.
lost their lives from the cause of the January 6th attack.
I understand.
That's okay.
So on the day, there was one.
What, honey?
Oh,
What
my
you say?
Lord, Savannah, really? Oh, God.
So does that make you feel good that you wanted to say that? I mean,
Oh, yeah, does.
so in
Promoted
other
by
words,
what?
because
What
he had a heart
promoted
attack
heart
from what
attack?
happened, the trauma and the bear mace in his
Yes.
face and the trauma. Wow, y'all are like,
And seeing his
eh,
fellow Americans charging at him, trying to attack him. Yeah, that had no bearing on his heart attack, did it?
damn.
Probably
I
didn't.
just, I'm
Seeing
gonna
his
quote
fellow
Joy Reid
Americans
again.
acting
Y'all
like
are
this.
mean. Y'all are
Yeah,
mean.
they are just
Mean. Y'all are
no
mean.
empathy or compassion for anyone.
Y'all are just mean. Damn. I mean, them officers left family behind and shit. Y'all just don't even care. Y'all's just mean as hell.
Hey, Savannah, do you think that there was mass voter fraud?
You're asking, you really, after all that
Really,
conversation, you're gonna ask?
really attacking. you, you know.
Oh, thanks, Blue. I appreciate you, Scorpion. Go get your doctor appointment.
Bye, Scorpio.
I've got a phone appointment with Social Security Day so they can go haunt me for shit that ain't my fault.
Hey, Savannah, how about the cop that lost an eye due to the attack? Or the cop that lost 3 fingers due to the attack? Do those things bother you?
Let me
Of
ask
course not.
Savannah a
Because he
question.
wasn't fighting for Trump. They weren't fighting for Trump. That's, it doesn't matter unless they were fighting for Trump.
What about the 2 cops that committed suicide due to PTSD because of the attack, Savannah? Do you care about that? Huh?
Obviously, she doesn't care because I think she thinks like. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so she thinks that those peoples are the real patriots. They are there, to take down the tyrannical government because she believes in the voter fraud. The election was rigged, and Trump should be installed as the rightful winner of the elections and stuff. Is this what you believe, Savannah?
And that Pence should have lost his life. They had to stop him because he didn't go along with it.
Yeah. Hey, Savannah.
I know they had to make sure he was unalive because he didn't go along with the voter fraud thing,
Hey, Savannah. What do you think about the American history and then in the 245 years that only under Trump did a Confederate flag and a Yahtzee flag wave in the United States Capitol? How do you think about that?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she left because she's
Probably.
one of those heart feelings, butt hearts.
Are we too harsh? Are
Well,
we mean?
just
Are
one more
we
thing,
mean?
just in case she's in here. Savannah, what do you wave higher on your flagpole? Donald Trump's head on Sylvester Stallone's body and then the United States flag? Which one's first? Which one's on top?
Are we
And
mean?
do you have orbs in your house?
The orbs. You know what, April? I'm trying not to play that. I keep thinking I'm platforming mental illness.
Orbs in the house. Well, maybe she gets an ET transmission, you know.
I don't know. Somebody said something to that effect the one last time I was showing that off, and I felt guilty.
Shauna, that's me. I'm just getting sick of the bullshit, and they need to be called out. These people that go around spreading. That's why I don't give conservative a platform anymore. And then,
But see, I am really trying to bring us together.
no, it's not. You
April,
can't bring these people together.
Some of them
April,
we need to try.
some
We
of us
need to try.
not.
If you really care about the country, if we care about each other, you're really not a hater, come and talk to me. Let's have more conversation.
Oh, attacking. Somebody just called you out. Look here. No
Yeah,
one likes
I
deny.
read it. I read it.
Who is this?
April,
Yeah, well,
April,
I will send them to the limbo. I am the one who sent these people to the limbo.
wait a
I am
minute. Attacking's
conservative.
going to respond to her.
You a
What?
liberal.
Well,
It's okay. We get along.
Morning, beautiful Monique. How are you,
Get
sweetie?
friends.
yeah, we get
Okay.
along.
So if we can get along, we can get the whole country to
I wish
see.
there could. Well, there's just too many people out there that's just way out there. They believe anything they're
Let me say
told,
this, Walt. Brother, we
and they're
love you. You are a
brainwashed.
decent man, and we really like to have you up with us.
Well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate that.
There's people that's out here pushing their agenda of hate and lies. That's who we have to stop. We don't give them platforms.
They will
I
be
knew I thought
stopped
I
on
seen
their
someone
own.
in there.
Yeah.
Yep,
I think he
Ty
left.
was
You know, Lynn
hiding on
left.
me.
They all left. Hey, are there a Republican in here that wants to
I don't
speak?
know.
I was
I
gonna
don't
let her
know.
go
Yes, I
first,
am.
but
I know, but
Not,
we were
you
talking
know
about
what?
in the
When
comments.
we call out a Republican, Walt, you're gonna have to ignore that. We're not talking about you.
Of course you
You're a
are.
special Republican.
I'm
We
special.
love you.
You're a closet liberal.
I am not liberal in any way, shape, or form.
You're
She's just
I,
It's
teasing you, Walt. No,
I'm just
you're
playing.
good.
Walt is a conservative, but his heart isn't too small. It's a little bit wide.
Yeah, he has a big heart. Let me ask you this, Walt. Okay, hang on a
okay.
second, guys.
Go ahead and ask. I'm listening.
How you doing, Monique? I was gonna ask you, but you seem to be doing pretty good. How you doing, Grandpa from Tampa?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm along with who said this. Lisa, I totally agreement. I don't think we can ever come out from what Trump has started. He
I,
allowed the haters and racist
I
and
told
everything come
everybody you
out in
got
the
to get rid
open.
of all that rot. You got to dig it out and get rid of it and put in the fresh and the clean.
We'll do that in the next election.
Yeah, we hope.
We're going to get a president who doesn't threaten us with an F-14. Maybe he said F-15.
Well, that's what we're talking about is these people that are spewing this about the weapons and stuff. Do you not know it's not coming from a place of hate that we want to do something with the gun laws and stuff?
So,
It's not
Walt,
out of hate.
you're
It's
telling
out of
me
compassion for other people that's getting unalived.
Walt, the whole 4 years that Trump was in office, I should have felt threatened.
Rose,
Is that what you're saying, Walt?
anybody ever say anything to threaten you? If they did, please explain it to me.
Because Trump said nasty, horrible stuff about Democrats, talking about how we hated everybody. We were the scourge of the country for 4 years.
We're evil. And people
What did he
followed
do
his.
to threaten you?
Are you shitting me?
I'm not. I'm very serious. I never heard the threats. Please enlighten me.
What threat are you guys talking about?
Even Kim agrees. What threat are you talking about?
Because I was out for a second and then I didn't hear what are you guys talking about. Sorry, I missed it.
Okay, Trey. Oh, Biden has done that, has threatened us, Tracy. How is that? How is that?
I know.
Oh my
How did
goodness.
Biden threaten us?
No, Biden, let me say this, because he called out, the cavalry, the extreme MAGA cavalry, who tried to overthrow the people's government, who tried to destroy the temple of democracy, which these people, let me break it down to you guys. That temple of democracy, it didn't just from day to night till the whole day. People came in and they built that temple of democracy. Heroes, the best of us are failing for that temple of democracy. You didn't get it. How dare you call in yourselves patriots? I bet you know what the meaning of patriotism is. With your goddamn brains.
Hey, Kim?
I
Kim,
can
you
hear you,
listening?
Walt. Yes, brother. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Kim, my buddy, did you hear the comments Biden had to say on MLK Day? Did you hear that?
Kim, you're on mute. He's at work, Walt, so when he has to mute and everything.
Okay. I didn't know that.
He's not calling out Republicans. He's calling out the MAGA, Trump, the conspiracy idiots, the QAnon, all this other groups, that's the Proud Boys, all this other bullshit, Walt. It's not you.
Oh, good.
He's calling out the ultra MAGA people.
That makes me feel better. Because we certainly wouldn't want to make America better.
He's not.
You
He's
know what?
calling
How
out all
we
these
can make
idiots.
America better, Walt? You know what? The day that everybody, we all, with all our cultural differences, with all our differences in religion, with all our differences in political views, we will every single one of us need to compromise, need to pay attention for once, at least. We can sit down on a round table. We can bring all the events from the beginning of the chaos till the end, and we can discuss every single question. And the condition is we need to put aside all our differences. And I think we can do it. We did it so many times in over like 7 decades. And I think we still, if people are open-minded and believe in America, greater America for everyone, we can do it again. Ever.
Kim,
we can do it.
You and I agree. So if you and I can agree, we can get a lot of people to agree. We can have an open discussion, and we can enjoy each other's company
Absolutely, Walt. You know what, my friend? I will be the first person who will say yes for the conservatives, yes for the libertarians, yes for every single person who wants to be part of the solution, even with a different way. But the interest of every single American should be the top priority, no matter what.
I guess the newest issue is the Republicans want a conservative government. Democrats want to go full speed ahead. So the budget issue is coming out, and they're going to say, I don't want you to spend more than what we got. And so that's going to upset a lot of people.
The budget is the easiest thing we can set up. It's I can compromise. I can give some room. I can give some room on some stuff, on some sectors. On some there is a hell of things we can limit the budget on. But when it comes to threatening the lives of our elderly, threatening the people who rely on the pension disability to survive, not to live, to survive. That may knock my nerve. That will knock my nerve. If every single American who thinks that Social Security, people on disability, people on retirement plans or whatever are a fardeau, like we call it in French, means like you have someone who doesn't work, who's not being efficient, who's not being proactive. So this person is like a heavy burden that will pick my nerve. It's gonna be something I will fight toes and nails until that thing will be protected. Because those elderly who rely or who are not doing anything today, they are the ones who built this country. And this is the thing, this is the step that these extreme conservative, extreme Republicans, not you, Walt, who are missing. And they lost this segment of the history of this nation, because the elderly of today are the ones who built this nation. So we owe them debt of gratitude for what they done. So at least we can let them live peacefully and until the end of times. They are not bothering anybody. They are not trying to make a trouble or anything. They want just their money, and take their money to live, to eat, to pay their bills until their times will come up. And it's going to be the same for everybody. So I think it's not a hard thing to do. There is a lot of sectors. There's a lot of corners, angles we can discuss. We can limit the budget. We can save the hell of spending. And I am open to talk about this. Trust me, Walt, if I run for Congress, trust me, there is a lot of things I want to implement, I want to add. And I want to make sure that people understand what I'm talking about.
Well, Kim,
I will not be a threat to anybody. I will not be a threat to any church, to any Christian, to anybody. But the problem is we need to make sure that this thing coming up together needs to happen. Period.
If you decide to run for office, I have a lot of people in Massachusetts. We can support you. We'll help you. We'll get you in.
Thank you, Walt.
And you know how Massachusetts works. So bring it.
Well,
What you want us to bring?
My son-in-law ran. Guaranteed. He was a guaranteed win. He did win.
Yeah.
And all my friends who asked, "You want my help? I get you in," and they do. So
Yeah.
Kim, if you decide you want to run, what district are you going to run in? Are you going to run in the 5th?
He must be at work.
You get quiet, so he'll come back in a bit.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
You were saying how you feel that Democrats are push, 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 go, 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 So
I was what?
here's the way I see it. Democrats look to the future and they look to progress things in this country. The Republicans look to yesterday and wanting to keep things the way they are. That's and being called a progressive is not a bad thing. It's just wanting better for our country to move forward.
The only thing that we are against is screwing it up.
Say that again.
The only thing we are against is you screwing the whole thing up.
Well, have you been to sleep tonight?
Not yet. I will be shortly.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you might need to go take a nap.
I was gonna say he sounds so tired.
Yeah, well, you sound so tired. You might need to go to sleep. It's not good for your health not to
Is
get any
that what the
sleep.
issue is? It's not the issue of being brain dead.
No,
I
you're
thought.
tired. You're
No
tired
one
right
said you
now.
were brain
You're
dead,
you're
honey. We
slurring your
just
words a
worried
little
about
bit. We
you.
can tell you're tired.
I thought because I'm a conservative, it makes me worthless.
No, no, you're tired and you need to go to sleep. Are you married? Well,
Yes, I am.
do you spend any time with your wife?
A
You're in
little
here.
bit, yeah.
You're in here a lot. Like she slept by herself last night.
Every night.
Oh, she sleeps by herself every night.
Yeah.
Damn, Walt.
Is she a liberal and you're a Republican? You're sleeping
That
in
is pretty
different
close.
rooms.
Pretty close to that.
Oh,
No, actually, she's a libertarian.
okay. But she don't follow the same views as you.
Very similar. She thinks I am way too liberal.
So that means y'all haven't had many conversations lately, right?
They
That's
say
hilarious.
We have lots of them.
opposites attract.
That's hilarious.
We are
Sorry,
opposite. We do
sorry, I was
attract.
quiet. I was making bacon and eggs.
Oh my God, I'm hungry as hacking.
You're making bacon and eggs. I'm ordering Taco Bell. It just switched to breakfast menu or lunch menu, so I'm definitely ordering a nacho locos tacos.
Lunch menu at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they switched to lunch. They do breakfast and lunch, but they start doing the lunch menu.
One step. Not gonna happen.
But I really appreciate that because of being an overnight person. This is our dinner, and we don't like always eating breakfast food for dinner. So
9 o'clock here, Shauna.
A few years ago, the North
You're at what,
Carolina
7
government,
o'clock attacking?
the North Carolina government decided
I'm on the
they
West
want
Coast.
they wanted to outlaw garbage disposals in the sink. There's an uproar like you'd never heard before, and rightly so. How dare the government say what you could do? So then immediately, within a couple of days, the government rescinded that law. So
Which
Mike, why would you say that?
outlaw garbage disposals? Aren't they
I
good for the
mean,
compost?
in my opinion, a garbage disposal in the type of house my fiance has, it's only a waste because we can't use it. Because the more we use it, the more it fills up our septic. So the sooner we'll have to have that pumped.
It is true. It's
And
not a good thing to have. I don't like it myself, but
that's just
it's not the place
honestly
of the government.
giving
The government to tell
another
you.
company more money sooner.
The
Which, I
government to
mean,
say,
thank God for the septic companies because they pump the septic, but it's just sooner if I use that. We have one, but I don't use it that often.
I have never heard a bigger backlash against government than the garbage disposal ban.
The garbage disposal ban. We can't take the garbage disposal.
Well, the government had decided you can't have light bulbs, you can't have toilets, you can't have thermostats. When they came out to garbage disposal, people finally stood up and said, "No, sir, not going to do it." Thank goodness.
They're going to take your gas stoves too, Walt.
Good luck to them.
And your light bulbs.
They already took the light bulbs. I ordered a couple cases of incandescent bulbs from my supplier, and he told me this is the last you'll ever get. After this, they will arrest us for contraband if we do this.
Okay. So as I was cooking and I'm here eating, so I'm looking up Capitol Police Union reveal cop suffered brain injury, loss of eye after pro-Trump rally.
Yeah, I think she's gone, you know.
I don't know if she was in there. Like I said, I was making bacon and eggs, and I just thought I'd look this up as a meeting.
She left. She left a while ago because she doesn't have. She found out that she doesn't have nothing to defend or to any facts to to bring up. That's why she left. So don't bother, brother.
They got it was the few that was left in after they tried sharing to everyone when conservative Lynn, you know how they do.
Ah, okay.
So she just got the late invite.
Well, damn it! That's two times I've made statements that nobody was in here that I was directing at.
I know.
I'm gonna go for number 3 here soon.
Yeah, Walt does need to go to bed. Walt, go to bed. We'll talk to
Why?
you later.
He has a cup of coffee next to him.
Well, please go to bed. You're making a 23-year-old worry about your health.
Why?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be shutting my live down anyway because I also have to take a nap before I have a phone appointment later. So,
Rose, I thought you already had your nap.
No. I also have insomnia and I have sleep apnea. So, but you're a little bit older than me, so I am a little bit more
Sudani guy,
concerned
what are you
about you.
talking about, dude?
I
Are
don't
you
know what.
trolling?
Yeah,
Yeah,
If
let's
you're
see.
he's
trolling,
trying to
it's
get
the wrong
someone to.
place to troll. You can go somewhere else to troll.
Let's see if this works for Walt. Go to sleep, go to sleep, close your big bloodshot eyes. Go to sleep, go to
Oh, please
sleep,
don't.
go to sleep before you. I won't say the part.
Thank you, Sakin. That's a
But
lovely song.
you did solve a problem for her. I was worried about you losing
Love you
your
too,
day
Lisa.
job.
So attacking, I watched the video of you playing Mad World, and I left a comment where you need to sing the lyrics now.
Oh, you like you watching my do my keyboard videos? Yeah, good.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta go back now and do the lyrics.
Yeah, that's on Playground Sessions. And you want to know something? They keep track of how long you're on the site. I've had it for like over a year and a half, but in total, in practice, I've only tallied up 2 days and like 4 hours. So that's on 2 days worth of learning how to play.
That's amazing.
Yeah, if you
All
listen to
right,
if
guys.
you listen to all the other videos, yeah. So just think of it as a practice every day.
Yeah, that's God.
As much as I love my friends, I am going to go now.
Okay, Rose. We'll
All
talk
right,
to you
Rose.
later.
Good night.
Good
Bye,
Bye,
night.
guys. Be
Have a good
safe.
everyone.
Be
night,
good.
Rose.
Rose,
Good night.
Thanks,
thank you.
everyone. Thank you, Rose. Thanks, Walt. Take care, everyone. We love you all. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.